You can keep chanting if you want to, but I know why people shop at our store.
And I know what you're going to say. It's those healing gemstone mugs you picked out.
Yes.
And our large crystal and stone collection that you picked out.
Yes.
But what about our unique silver and gemstone jewelry?
That you picked out?
Yeah.
Well, it is pretty amazing.
So come to the Enchanted Attic, 304 South Main Street in historic St. Charles, 636-949-9502. Free gift with every purchase. We love this store.
This is where St. Louis comes to talk. 97.1 FM Talk. Join the conversation digitally. Download the Odyssey app and tune into the #1 talk station in St. Louis at any time. The Annie Fry Show is sponsored by Forensic IT, the tech experts that find the root cause of your technical problems. ForensicIT.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
I think he's somebody who, if you followed what he said you did a good job. For example, he said New York has the best response to COVID. Obviously, in terms of the numbers, I don't see how you could possibly say that, both for COVID and all the destruction that's happened. And so in Florida, we chose freedom over Fauciism, and we're much better off for doing that. I think his lockdown policies were not justified by the scientific data. He was somebody that fear-mongered about schools. He did not support Florida when we had our kids in school in person. I think he was wrong about masks and asymptomatic spread. And then obviously he does so many interviews that it was pretty clear to me after a pretty short time, this was all about himself and his own image.
So Governor Ron DeSantis, they're saying they choose freedom over Fauciism. That's well put. What is the Biden administration choosing to do?
Does he still have confidence in his NIH directors? Does this change anything at all?
No, the president and the administration feel that Dr. Fauci has played an incredible role in getting the pandemic under control, being a voice to the public throughout the course of this pandemic. And again, I would reiterate, a lot of these emails are from 17 months ago or more, certainly predating this administration, but some time ago.
So the Biden administration still has confidence in Dr. Fauci. Okay, well, that's the least shocking thing that I've heard today. Welcome into the Annie Fry Show. Happy Friday. It's Friday, which means we've got Gabe Pfeiffer in here. Hi, Gabe. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm a freaking genius.
Okay, so you're a rocket scientist.
Brilliant!
Knowledge is power.
Gabe Pfeiffer is host of St. John the Philosopher YouTube channel, which you should go subscribe to right now, and then just pop over to the Annie Fry YouTube channel where we're streaming live. Gabe, welcome back to the show. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Good to be back. And my goodness, I was just telling Ryan here, and I have to say it's really good to have him back. That I'm driven completely mad by the Fauci emails. It's so triggering to me because of what it means to everything. It's like they've been silencing and deplatforming, a ton of my friends, messing with their livelihoods and stuff like that, over things that they knew about, that they knew were legitimate in March.
Yeah. So tell me, let's just break down, if you haven't seen, what the Fauci emails have entailed. There's a lot of screenshots of them that you can find on social media. Specifically for you, Gabe, the things that have come out that have really gotten under your skin about what Dr. Fauci was communicating with other people in his industry, what people were asking him and how he was responding. Which issues really frost your cookies?
Okay, well, the mask thing was one, because, it's not as though a whole bunch of us haven't been saying this since day one, but, things that were eminently true in March, which are still eminently true now, have been squashed and belittled, and people who say those things were turned into absolute villains who just wanted to kill your grandma for a year. And that's one thing, and it gave the Karens of the world a million times of fodder to attack their neighbors. But the biggest thing to me was the suggested mitigation that I think a lot of us had, where we knew this virus attacked the elderly, we knew it attacked people with comorbidities, and the suggestion was have those people, the people most at risk, shelter in place, essentially, hunker down, keep their distance, do all of that stuff, and the rest of us would go on living. And those of us who were going to get it would get it, and it would be, the mild non-sickness that it was for most of us, right? And it would run its course, and we would develop this general immunity, eventually get to herd immunity, eventually have your vaccines and things like that. Basically, what would have happened if they didn't implement what they did, but they chose possibly the most destructive path to get us to the exact same place, only with worse results from the economic destruction that was rigged by the lockdowns.
And it's interesting that you put it that way, because when you compare what Fauci, what Ron DeSantis just said there, the governor of Florida, and you look at what he did, where he looked at the science and we've played clips of and seen how people have shown how he surrounded himself with other people, advisors who helped push him through Florida's response to the pandemic. They didn't do things the way Fauci said to.
Mm-hmm.
They have been brutalized over it this entire time. And Florida is a success story when it comes to how this pandemic was handled. You compare it to New York, who was glorified throughout the entire process. I mean, who writes a book when you're in the middle of crossing a really treacherous river? You don't stop to write a book about how to cross a treacherous river. You cross the freaking river. And then if somebody asks you and is like, you did such a great job. I mean, that was awesome. There were people, you were literally throwing human beings off of the ship halfway through to make the boat lighter. But we're going to talk about that. You got to cross the river. Bravo, bravo, Governor Cuomo. Write a book about this. No, he wrote it in the middle of the pandemic, and it was a disaster.
I just imagine the beginning of Pirates of the Caribbean, where Jack Sparrow's on the top, the mast of his ship as it's sinking, and he gets to the dock.
Perfectly captured in the camera frame.
I made it.
Yeah.
Look how
to pirate.
Magnificently I did this.
It's funny that you use pirates, because it kind of feels like that a little bit.
Yeah, they took a lot of our booty.
I just, we can continue to go over this with every day. There's a new developing story about how impossibly wrong it was. And when you see the Fauci emails now, it's not like Dr. Fauci or the people around him have come out and said, really changed course at any time. It seems to me that the majority of what they've done has been very reactionary. Texas says no mask mandate. And the Biden administration says, well, that's some Neanderthal thinking. And Texas is kicking butt right now, as Texas does, obviously. Mm-hmm. And so then all of a sudden, first we get the insults and the people who are clamoring for some more COVID drama in their lives go off of that initial report saying you can't believe that Governor Abbott of Texas would go down this route. It's so irresponsible. I mean, I remember we played a couple of, and I try not to do this because there are so many, we could do it every day. I'm going to say Gen Z TikTokers who are in meltdown mode in their cars.
Their freaking minds.
They shouldn't be driving like that. They should not be behind the wheel that distressed. They should be on a couch getting counseling.
Have I shared with you the data about mental illness as it relates to to political affiliation?
No, you have not. I thought you were going to say about COVID maskers and these people who are so excited to get on their phone and show the world how distressed they are.
Well,
you're going to regret that.
Just an FYI for everybody. For liberal white women under 30, 50% of them have been told by a medical professional that they have a mental
Katie, how do you feel about that? Well, you're not liberal.
No, not liberal.
Well,
you're not in that. And it actually lists,
Names?
Yeah, names, exactly. It names names.
If you know them,
all y'all there,
reach out.
No, conservative white women, they're it's more like in the 20% range. So like kind of regular. So I'm just saying, like, as you the further left people go, the larger incidence there is of mental illness, and that's a scientific fact.
Do you think it's because the primary thing that Democrats use to kind of get you into the party is fear?
I think that has something to do with it. I mean, we could get into a sort of chicken and egg argument. It's like, are leftists, mentally problematic because they're leftists, or is it because that they have mental issues they become leftists? I think you can kind of go either way on that, but certainly the left uses fear. It uses I guess on some level paranoia, because
I'm gonna defend them.
Let's hear it. All right,
step aside for a minute here.
Defend the science.
Step aside.
Okay, go ahead.
And yeah. Let's just I gotta watch what I say these days. I'm gonna defend them because the way we do news and the way we do politics right now is 100% emotional. And Katie, you've had these experiences. I mean, you've come from a more conservative influenced background, but you definitely have your own developed opinions and perspectives on basically all issues. And when I've asked you about things before, off air or on air, and you don't know, you're like, I don't really know how I feel about that. I mean, you're not like a default one way or the other.
Not a reactionary.
But the emotional play that these politicians rely on to get support is very, very specific. It's not by accident. And there are things that you have to do in life to really understand for yourself why one policy lean might be better than the other direction. You have to know what it's like to go try to get a loan. You have to know what it's like to graduate high school and try to get a job that you don't really love, that you have to have because you have a bill to pay. You have to go through being told no. I mean, some people might even say I eat no for breakfast, but you have to be out there doing things and experiencing life, which generally speaking, I don't know how Ryan and Gabe, you guys feel about this. Katie is in the midst of it, but I'm going to say you're kind of in the 7th, 8th inning. That's towards the end of the game.
Yeah.
Got it.
I'm stretching.
Nailed it. It's not the stretch. It's after the stretch.
It's right after the second intermission. You have to experience some of these life things to understand the perseverance that is necessary, and also make you survey all of the roadblocks that are in front of you. And the roadblocks are usually government-related regulations. And if you don't experience those things, or if you're in your earlier 20s and you just haven't yet, you haven't gotten married, good grief. I'm telling you, folks, the two of you know this already. When you become a parent, you see the world differently. Everything is different. You become a less rational person for the sake of this person who's relying on you.
On some level. Some level.
And you
or
just
hyper rational
or straight to the point, folks. I have no time for the BS. There's an end here that I need to do, and that's to protect and preserve the future of my child. And this is how this is going to go down. And if you're in that same position and we're, opposite positions here, then we're going to have some pushback and it's going to go down, but it's about your kid. It's not about you. Those young people haven't necessarily had that experience, and everything that this government is doing is pushing back that timeline of when those experiences are required to be had so that they don't have to have those experiences.
Yeah.
The nanny state comes in and says, you don't need insurance. Your parents have insurance. Do they? How's the jobs market doing, Joe Biden? When you look at the way they drastically flip the script and keep our young people naively young for as long as possible, they don't have those, boomer parents or maybe greatest generation parents who are like, you're 18, get out of my house, go make a life for yourself and come back and visit with your grandkids, my grandkids. They don't have that. And it's purposeful. That's the number one thing that I want to make the point of, is that it's by design.
Oh, you're definitely right. I mean, it's the difference between, I guess we'll say boomer parents who expected a lot from you and who would not shield you from adversity because they knew it's what makes people of character, and the helicopter parents who don't want anything bad, even remotely bad, to touch their child. So the child never develops the thick skin they need. They never develop the perseverance. They don't get that perspective that comes with failure.
Yep. I don't really think bad happened to my kids either, but I also don't want to be protecting them from bad things happening to them when they're 45. So there's a trade-off there of when you got to step in and let them learn a lesson or two. When we come back, Tom Hain is going to join us. He's the Madison County State's attorney. We talked to him about a month ago or so about his Cross River Crime Task Force. They have reconvened and they're working on some of the crime uptick that has taken place on the Illinois side of the river from people who have gone back and forth and how that's going. So we're going to speak with Madison County State's Attorney Tom Hain when we come back. Tony Colombo in studio with us at 12:40 for his last day at 97.1 at Odyssey. We are going to miss him, and I need you to come onto the live chat. Make sure you're there at 12:40 when he's in studio with us. Send your well wishes. We will read them to him so he knows how much he's loved here. Tony Colombo at 12:40. Stick around. Morning Fry Show in a minute.
Ain't a rainbow all around her. Don't let her see a cloudy sky.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show.
Once upon a time, that little girl
Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Fry Show.
I know she'd never be with you, so take good care of my baby.
Need a break from the sound bites and the talking heads? Do you want information you can actually use? Information that'll change your life for the better? Then listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show.
Listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show this Saturday afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
Need more living space to enjoy every moment you spend at home? Time to call Lakeside Renovation and Design. Whether you want a luxurious bathroom, an updated kitchen with tons of counter space, a finished basement, or a bump-out addition, Lakeside does it all. We don't subcontract, and we guarantee our work with a lifetime workmanship warranty, so you can rest assured you get the home interior of your dreams. Request a free consultation at 636-978-5000. That's 636-978-5000. You'll love your home all over again.
Hey, this is Wiggins. I'm not somebody who misses appointments when I make them, but I am somebody who forgets to make appointments, especially when it comes to things that are non-essential. You know, if it comes to your health and you have to deal with something right away, well, then you make it a priority. When it comes to your teeth, it's usually just maintenance. If something goes terribly wrong, yeah, it becomes a priority. If you have a toothache, you need something done right away. Of course, Fountains Family Dentistry can do those things for you too. But it's the routine maintenance that we all kind of forget to do. And I've mentioned many times that COVID's thrown things way for a loop. Everybody's out of the practice of doing so. So if you live in the Metro East, like I do, or you work in the Metro East, it's going to be convenient for you because Fountains Family Dentistry is right off of Highway 64 in Fairview Heights, right where you get off for St. Clair Square, same exit right there. And they have appointments for you late into the evening and early in the morning, depending on what your schedule is and what your needs are. They will have something for you. Go to fountainsfamilydentistry.com, and that's where you can find their phone number and talk to them on the phone if you're more comfortable doing that. Or you can make an appointment right there online, fountainsfamilydentistry.com.
This past year has been difficult for so many Americans. The uncertainty of the economy lingers under this new administration, especially with all the spending and job cuts. We know that people are interested more than ever in securing their nest egg for their retirement. I'm Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group, and for 35 years, we've been helping retirees and pre-retirees understand their options when they leave a job or retire. We'll teach you how to secure your nest egg and provide an income that will last through your retirement and still leave a legacy for your heirs. Call me now at 314-993-9494 for a no-cost, no-obligation retirement review. We'll design your own personalized, structured income plan so you know exactly how much income you can count on and also how long your money will last. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of my second edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. This book covers everything I teach in my live educational events. Call me now at 314-993-9494 or online at retirementkey.com.
This is the season of big celebrations, weddings, graduations. Be sure you can see them clearly. Mark Cox here for my friends over at Brenton Vision. My wife, Michelle, went to Brenton Vision, had a modern version of LASIK called RLE. That is lens replacement, and she no longer needs glasses or readers, doesn't have to be concerned about cataracts. And when my son walks across the stage, she'll be able to see it clearly. You can too. Dr. Jason Brenton is a Harvard-trained surgeon, and he has got thousands of satisfied customers right here in the greater St. Louis area. You can find out online at BrentonVision.com. You can take a test to see what you might be a candidate for. Brenton Vision is the only place in St. Louis where you'll find all 7 forms of modern vision correction. Call them today at 314-375-2020, 314-375-2020. You can book right now online at BrentonVision.com.
Did you know that the average home takes on 40 pounds of dust per year? That's nasty. Your carpet is the biggest air filter in your home, so it needs some summer loving to keep it fresh and clean. Call my friends at Zero Res at 314-474-2020 or book online anytime at ZeroResSTL.com. Tell them that Mark Reardon sent you.
A weekday lineup that makes you think. Mornings with Mark Cox and Brian Kilmeade. Afternoons with Annie Fry and Mark Reardon, where St. Louis comes to talk. This is 97.1 FM Talk.
Baby got me racing off track, tail pipes burning up like a smokestack, breaking my heart cause she never looked back. Oh, 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 oh. Bought every lie she ever sold me, like a wet blanket I let her hold me. Now I'm right here with no one to hold me. Oh, 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 oh. I said hey, I said oh, I said hey, ho, hey, ho, hey, ho. There she goes, there she goes, goes, my goodbye, baby.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Happy Friday. Always a pleasure to be able to say that to you, and a little bit of gratitude, a lot of bit of gratitude for you spending some of your Friday afternoon with us right here on the Annie Fry Show. Let's get straight to our guest. I'm excited to talk to Madison County State's Attorney Tom Hain, who is putting forth as much effort as he possibly can to address some of the cross-river crime that we have seen as an uptick here in Madison County. Tom, welcome back to the show. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Annie, good to be on. I appreciate it.
So you've given an update. You have reconvened this task force. What can you tell us about what you've established so far, and what kind of progress people on both sides of the river might be able to see with your efforts?
Sure. So we had our first meeting, which was sort of getting everybody together in the same room about a month and a bit ago. And since that time, we've had a number of working groups that have sort of puzzled through the practicalities of how to actually make this a working organization. You know, it's not just about talking points. We really want this to be effective. So we came up with a charter of the organization that's united by one commander that has several deputy commanders. The commander is appointed by myself and the sheriff, and then confirmed by the members of the Cross River Crime Task Force. And then once that commander is appointed, which should be next week, then he or she will be tasked with coordinating license plate reader patrols across the county. So this would be a much more universal approach over a period of hours or days, depending on the commander, to really put the pressure on individuals with warrants or known individuals involved with criminal activity based off law enforcement investigations, to put the pressure on, be able to arrest them, and make sure that criminals know that Madison County is an uncomfortable place to be.
Madison County State's Attorney Tom Hain on the phone with us. We talked to you about this about a month ago, and you know, you've been working on it ever since, and probably before that. But just a refresher really quick, this cross the state lines crime, this seems like something that should, you know, is this a new problem, or is this an old problem that you're finally addressing?
Probably the latter. It's an old problem, but because of the jurisdictional problem, you know, when you cross a state line, you enter into a different jurisdiction. So suddenly there's different rules that apply. You know, and frankly, we have a different approach to prosecution in Madison County than they appear to have in St. Louis. You know, we're pretty aggressive. And so when individuals commit a crime here in Madison County, they'll often try to flee back into St. Louis for obvious reasons. So what we see is just now is a time when there's an overall crime uptick, a crime wave going on, particularly in St. Louis, and we just want no part of it. So now is as good a time as ever to coordinate the efforts to make sure that citizens know they can live in a safe community here in Madison County. And so now is as good a time as ever to address this problem, but it's been long-standing. Just last 2 weeks ago, my office convicted an individual from St. Louis with a murder in Granite City. So, I mean, we see this all the time. St. Louis individuals coming into Madison County and committing especially violent crimes, and it needs to stop, and we're going to do whatever we can to stop it.
So what kind of collaboration does it take, Tom, in order to put together an effort like this from your office at the state's attorney to all of the law enforcement people that you have to bring together? It seems like to come to an agreement to really make an effective change, this is a pretty big undertaking.
Well, it is. It has been a very active, few months. It's involved a lot of phone calls, talking people through issues, preventing misunderstandings. And I'm just really proud of the law enforcement community in Madison County. Everybody wants to work together. We had a great turnout yesterday. We had a great turnout in April. Everyone wants to work together. They want to make change. They want to coordinate efforts. There's something that is very effective when you coordinate what are previously disparate law enforcement agencies together into a single mission. And that's what I think's happened this time. And yesterday, what happened that was so great was we all adopted one charter that will govern the organization going forward and provide for ongoing patrols. So this is not a one-off thing. We're going to be trying to do them every month or so, and we're going to be updating citizens on the effectiveness of those patrols. And it's going to be an ongoing thing so that we, the fight against crime isn't something that occurs overnight, but over the long haul, if we remain vigilant and with this new organization and with the new tools that we believe it will bring to play, we believe we can really make an impact on this especially virulent form of cross-river crime.
Tom Hain is Madison County State's Attorney on the phone with us. Tom, is this happening both ways? You mentioned crime that's happening in Madison County and then people fleeing back into the city, but does it happen the other way too, where crime happens in St. Louis and then people are fleeing into Illinois to avoid jurisdiction and things like that? Is that why there's a collaboration happening too?
Sure. I mean, crime flows across, on highways and across state lines. So of course there's a lot of travel. Individuals travel back and forth between Missouri and St. Louis all the time. And just the reality is St. Louis has a incredibly high crime rate.
Yeah.
Madison County does not have that same high crime rate. And so we see the flow happening largely, the net flows in one direction. Because of the crime rate that's happening in St. Louis. And so that's just the reality. We wish it wasn't the case. We can't do anything in Madison County to enforce the law over in St. Louis, but what we can do is respond to the needs of the Madison County citizens to enforce the law aggressively here and to make it known that individuals who are considering traveling into Madison County to commit a crime, or criminals considering traveling into Madison County, will know the vigilance is exponentially increased.
We're speaking with Madison County State's Attorney Tom Hain. I want to ask you how the public can help you in these efforts, because as you said, this is going to put people into patrol here shortly. People are going to see an uptick in activity because of this cross-river crime task force. Is there anything the public can do to be of assistance to try to make your efforts even more successful?
Sure. I think they can report crimes when they see them. Involve your local law enforcement. We have great law enforcement in Madison County. Involve your local law enforcement. Call the police when you see suspicious activity. And lock your cars at night. A lot of car burglaries happen through unlocked cars, but when anything happens, call the police so they know that a crime occurred. And the other thing is, part of this patrol is going to involve cars from across the county. You might see a Collinsville car in Alton. You might see an Alton car in Granite City. And that's because we're uniting our efforts and then focusing our efforts where we see, the most license plate reader hits, with individuals with warrants or whatever. So it's kind of a flow across the county. So I think individuals should be prepared for, some unusually high presence as the data shows in certain areas as we flow back and forth in response to these license plate reader hits. And so over the next few months, I think people should just be aware of that. If they have any questions, they can call their local police department to see what's going on. We're going to do our best to keep everyone aware so there's no misunderstandings. But it will involve some novel and hopefully effective law enforcement techniques that unite everyone's efforts on this one mission, which is really to keep everyone safe. Everyone deserves a safe neighborhood, and that's what we want to do.
For sure. How do people watch specifically the results of these actions? Is there a place people can connect with you to make sure that they're seeing the efforts and the fruits of the labor of yourself, your office, as well as all of these different precincts that are coming together?
Sure. So the Madison County State's Attorney's Office has a Facebook page and a website. I believe the Facebook page is Madison County SAO. But my own personal website is tomhain.com if they need more information about me. But in terms of staying connected, I would just, I would encourage them to be aware. We have the intention with this task force of putting out reports after every patrol so that people know what just happened, what was the data, how many cars were pulled over, how many arrests were made, how much drugs were seized. And so we're hopefully going to have these ongoing updates as these patrols hopefully become part of the expectation in Madison County. This should be the background, this should be happening, every month or so, and people should expect it. They should appreciate it. And also the criminal element should also understand this is happening. So, there's an important component to keeping the public notified, and we fully intend to do that.
Tom Hain, it's always a pleasure to have you on here. We look forward to, as I said last time we talked, following up with you and seeing how this continues to progress. Thank you for what you're doing for Madison County, because it's absolutely been a necessity. Even just myself as a resident of Madison County, I've noticed this uptick, and I'm happy to see somebody doing something about it. To you and to all the officers and all the people in law enforcement, we're very grateful.
Well, I appreciate that, and I'm mostly grateful to the real guys on the street. The men and women in uniform who are on the street actually enforcing these patrols. Those are the ones with lives on the line. So I really want to put out all the kudos to them.
Yeah, I second that completely. Tom Hain, we'll talk to you again soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
You too. Bye-bye. Tom Hain is the state's attorney for Madison County, and he has assembled that cross-river crime task force, and hopefully that bears some fruit, as we talked about before. We're going to take a quick break because we have a very special guest coming up next. That special guest is Tony Colombo, and as he has been in with us for years and years, a part of our show here in middays from almost the very beginning, today is Tony's last day. And so we're going to talk to him about that. 12 years plus that I've been working with Tony Colombo. I'm going to miss him greatly. What's his story? If you haven't heard it yet, we'll find out here in just a minute. And I would love to invite you personally to come onto the Annie Fry Show Facebook page or the Annie Fry YouTube channel, where you will be able to see his last segment in studio here with us on the Annie Fry Show and wish him well. You can do that on the live chat on the Annie Fry Show Facebook and on the Annie Fry YouTube channel. Tony Colombo in studio with us for the last time. Just a minute.
Goodbye, baby. Shit on the president's side of my pockets, pull the plug right out of my socket.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Fry Show.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Get your air conditioner ready for the summer heat with a maintenance agreement from Air Comfort Service. Monthly maintenance plans start at only $15 per month. For more details on HVAC maintenance plans and to get in your comfort zone, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Hi, this is Lance Drury. If you have payroll tax problems, you have serious legal problems, you need an attorney. Call 314-260-6120 or toll free 888-367-6512 or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
Hi, this is Tracy, president of Acropolis Technology Group. I want to start by recognizing our team's exceptional hard work during this pandemic, and apparently our clients recognize it as well. We were just honored by not winning one Best in Business award, but 4 Best in Business awards. We won Best IT Firm, Best in Cybersecurity, Best in Customer Service, and Best in Value. These 4 awards are a culmination of our team's hard work every single day, all done during the most challenging year we've had in our 24-year history. What these 4 awards tell me is that we are recognized for being experts at our craft. We do it in a friendly way, and our clients see value from partnering with us. I can't think of 4 better awards that summarize what it is we do for our clients each and every week. Acropolis has been helping some of the region's best companies protect, optimize, and grow their businesses now for many years. We have done it for them, and we can help you too. To find out more, give us a call or visit us at acropolistech.com. That's Acropolis, TECH.com. Acropolis, it's a better way to manage IT.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling, waiting for your phone call to schedule that AC tune-up. It's hot out there today, folks, and it's just going to get hotter as June continues to march on as we go into the summer. Make sure your air conditioning unit is in tip-top shape so that you will remain in your comfort zone throughout the course of the entire summer. Corey Malone is going to be on with us here in the 2 o'clock hour. We're going to talk a little bit about how Air Comfort Service has really dedicated some of their work, their efforts into helping with the Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Make sure you stick around at 2 o'clock to hear Corey Malone talking about how Air Comfort Service is giving back to those who have given so much to us. If you are looking for somebody to come out and do some maintenance on your HVAC system, if you just need a tune-up or you just need a checkup, Air Comfort Service is there ready to help you. You can call them at 314-513-0091. That's 314-513-0091. The people who I have in my home take care of my HVAC service, always have done a fantastic job. You can trust them in your home as well. Doing this for over half a century, you get the very best when you call Air Comfort Service. 314-513-0091, aircomfortservice.com.
Mark Cox here. Guys, let Victory Men's Health help you regain your vitality by optimizing your hormones, vitamins, and sexual health. Victory Men's Health has the most cutting-edge technologies to treat ED. They have wave therapy. Listen, this is the biggest advancement for men with ED since the launch of Viagra. That's pretty incredible. They do the treatments in their office. Victory Men's Health offers wave therapy in both their Illinois and Missouri location. Check them out online today at victorymenshealth.com.
The Med Spa at the Institute of Natural Health understands how difficult it is to maintain healthy skin and how much this can affect someone's life. With the right combination of treatments and products, they can help you keep your skin looking healthy and more youthful, while also reducing and preventing damage. Take your first step towards healthy skin at the Med Spa at the Institute of Natural Health. Visit them at inhstl.com or call to schedule at 314-293-8123. That's 314-293-8123.
97.1 FM Talk is now streaming on the Odyssey app. It's your home for streaming The Mark Cox Show, Brian Kilmeade, The Annie Fry Show, and Mark Reardon on your phone. The Odyssey app for streaming 97.1 FM Talk.
Ah, yes. Well, looky here, what do we have? Another pretty thing ready for me to grab. But little does she know that I'm a wolf and she's clothing, cause at the end of the night, it is her I'll be holding. I love you so, hey, that's what you'll say. You'll tell me, baby, please don't go away. But when I play, I never stay. So every girl that I meet, yeah, this is what I say. Run away, baby.
All right, Tony. Sue Lynn on Facebook says, I came to St. Louis 18 years ago, and I can't remember ever hearing 97.1 without his dulcet tones. Tony Colombo, the Velvet Pipes. Ooh. You will be missed. Best to you and your family in your new endeavors. Well, that's some high praise there, Tony. Are you prepared for this?
And not true. If there's one thing, I mean, the never not being a part of the station is true, but Velvet Pipes is one thing that this guy does not have. But
Nick
that is
Schroer
super nice.
On Facebook says, gonna miss the Lilo and Stitch notebooks.
Yeah.
Brad says, and he listens to us while he cuts grass for a living in the summer. He said, I still have one more yard to finish, but I had to drop in and comment on Tony's last day. Lots of people flooding in right now to watch on the live webcam here on Annie Fry Show Facebook page and YouTube to wish you well. And we want to do the same thing too. So we haven't talked about this on the air yet.
Hope they can see, because I can't anymore.
You can't see?
We can see
Tony,
you. He's got the
Tony
light.
is so mad at me for trying to set up a good shot on his last day. He's rolling his eyes because I'm moving the camera and I'm moving the lights.
Ever since we moved to this
look like?
studio, I've had my spot.
In the shadows.
And I'm not in that spot. My last time in this studio, I'm not in my spot at my computer on my microphone.
I'd be frustrated.
And now she's pointing bright lights directly in my eyeballs.
It's right.
So-
To be fair to the guy whose spot it also is.
That's true.
I'm going
It's
to be
your
on
current
this show
spot.
a little longer today than you are. But it's your
agree.
last day. I should have given it.
I understand.
In deference, out of kindness.
Yes.
I understand.
Scott
I don't
says,
think it was
Tony-
Ryan. I think it was Katie.
Tony, been listening to you
Me
since
too.
2012 on the DGS. Then on Annie's show, you will be missed, man. Best of luck to you.
That's awesome.
What are you doing? Where are you going? What's
So
happening?
that first of all
Can you lighten
of the
his face a little bit, Katie.
I'm trying, but he is angry. He said I'm being bossy. He
Well,
said
you
I'm being
are. That's why we
bossy.
love you.
I'm like, I'm not being bossy.
the amazing amount of well wishes on Twitter and from people calling into the radio station's been amazing.
Janet said she's not going to post your well wishes because you just need to show up to church and she'll tell you her.
That's wow. Good for her. That is fantastic.
Janet,
I love that.
From the top
I love it. Hey, no, listen. Janet Pfeiffer does not play. She does not play. She's like Christine Colombo. She tells it like it is, and I love it.
Those women.
I love it.
Yes.
So I have, as many people have pointed out, I have been on the air in St. Louis since I was 19 years old. I've never been an adult and not on the radio.
Oh,
and
it's
so weird.
I've never been an adult, period,
on the radio either.
But I have reached a point where I am not positive that this is what I want to do anymore. And we are also at a point with our family business and in our family in general, where there are a lot of things that I can that have an immediate need that I can help with right now. And so I am going to do that. My daughter's getting ready to move to college. Oof. And she's graduating this weekend. And oof. Yeah, so there's a lot of, there's just a lot of stuff that needs to be done and needs to be focused on. And so I am going to focus on that. And I am going to take a break from radio and decide what's next. I don't know if I could a month or two could go by or a year could go by and I could think to myself, what did I do? I went back in, or that a period of time could go by and I could go, why didn't I do this sooner? I am so much happier outside the industry. I don't know. And I've never known, and I've never
know what you don't know.
Yeah. I've never been an adult and not in radio. So I'm very fortunate that I have the ability to leave and help my family and, financially and physically. And so I am going to do that. I'm going to take a break and I'm going to see what happens. So
I'm so happy for you, because I know that this is for anybody who's ever faced one of those moments in life where you're kind of questioning what happens next. And when you, of course, have kids, like you said, you've got some big life changes coming in your family. Anyway, it does make you question things going forward. It's real easy to just stay status quo. Mm-hmm. It's sticking with what you know seemed less scary, but to take the jump and to take the leap and to make the try and to say, maybe I'll be back here, maybe I won't. I'm happy for you. I'm proud of you. Not that you need me to be proud of you. I've been working with you for over 12 years. Tony and I worked behind the scenes on 97.1 together for a long time before this ever manifested itself here in the middays. If you would have told us in 2011 that I'd have a show and Tony would be
I'd be leaving,
coming on here, leaving, and and all of this was taking place, we wouldn't have believed it. But a huge part, an integral part of 97.1 from the jump, helping build the station into what it is. Tony, you've been at the center of it. I said since the Glover show left the station and you're leaving, I think Denise might be the only person who's on the station longer than I have been.
Oh wow,
Denise in the morning, and I've been here since the beginning of 2009.
I've been on the station I started as a regular contributor on Dave's show in 2001, and the station's been on the air since 2000.
Yeah,
there's nobody that's been here
on 2000, even kind of on the air.
Yeah,
to some extent.
Yeah, wow, absolutely.
I mean, it really is. I'm happy for you. I'm very sad for the station. I'm sad for the people who you've been able to. I haven't seen you for like a year.
Yeah,
but I'm sad for the people who are going to miss you behind the scenes and everything, because you're always so helpful. But I'm happy for you, and
well,
I know that whatever you do next, it's going to be great. And if you're back in 3 months, just make sure you let me know if that's happening.
Well, being a part of this, when we put this radio station on in the year 2000, I was there because I was working across the hall. It was the same company, and so I watched this company and the people that ran, that had the idea for this radio station to put on an FM talk station 21 years ago. I think we were the third FM talk station in the entire country. It just wasn't a thing. So it was a risk. It was new. It was totally different. And you know, and we went through a lot of growing pains. There was a lot of finding our identity. And, you know, probably maybe 15 years ago, we did find our identity, and being a part of this radio station and helping build it has been probably one of the most proud things that I've done. And with Mark and you, and now Mark Reardon in the afternoon, and all the great people that are still here, this radio station is in great hands. And I will always be a fan and a listener and a supporter. And, you know, maybe one day back on the air, at least, as you know, maybe I'll visit from time to time if people will have me. Who knows what the future holds? But you know, this radio station
a microphone
is
spot for you.
Yeah, no kidding.
His spot.
But yeah,
Get you a
this
plaque.
station is awesome, and I am so happy to have been a small part of its life. So I'll definitely miss it, but definitely doing the right thing, and need to figure out what I want to do with the rest of my career and my life, and we'll make those decisions over the next few months and see what happens.
Katie, you want to say anything?
No. Tony and I have worked together for the last 4 years.
We got a band now.
That's true.
We're band
That's
people.
So true.
I thought that other
We're going
people
on
were
a summer
supposed to
tour.
break
We're
up
going to announce
brand,
the world
band.
summer tour right now.
I know.
That's
But
what's happening.
I feel like, you know, throughout my time at 97.1, I've been so blessed because I have an incredible amount of mentors that have helped me. One of them being Annie, and I have the pleasure of working with Annie every day. But you have also been you and Annie are both my biggest mentors on 97.1. You guys
Tony,
have
she's in some big trouble.
You guys have helped me so much with everything. And you guys have taught me the ways of radio, how to do it well. I mean, working with you has been an absolute pleasure. And to think that if I wouldn't have taken the position on the Weekend Report to be the producer, I don't think you and I would be as close of friends as we are now. And I just want to say, I do cherish you and I love your family so much. And, you know, it's really hard. I listened to you today with Mark Cox on the Mark Cox Morning Show. And I texted Mark immediately after. I'm like, it is so surreal to me to be listening to Tony leaving this company because he's been here for so long. He's been with 97.1 for so long. I'm just going to miss you, bud. I think, you know, we're friends outside of this, so that's great. We're and even though we bully each other constantly on air, I am blessed and I am so lucky to consider you a friend, a mentor, and someone that I got to go on this radio journey with. So thanks.
Well,
I
back
also
at
think
ya.
it's really interesting and people need to know this, because Tony would remind us from time to time, but he won't be here to do that the connection of Gabe to this show or anything 97.1 is a Tony Colombo connection from the jump.
Yeah.
Yes,
and
definitely.
you know, Gabe, you've been coming into the studio here on Fridays now for quite some time because of Tony. I mean, Tony, what do you think about Gabe's trajectory here from where he started to what he's able to
Started
contribute?
from the bottom, now we're here. Miss Drake.
So knowing, thank you.
That was good.
Miss Drake.
I knew.
FYI.
I don't think you did.
I didn't.
I don't think you
Most listeners
our good friend Pastor John Michael Brown and Gabe both, you know, were friends of mine, and I realized from very early on that the conversations that we would have at church or, you know, in our personal life were important conversations that needed to be had on the radio. And so the fact that you know, Gabe has been able to not only start this incredible YouTube channel, have a real job as a freaking rocket scientist, and still be able to come in and be a part of the radio station. John Michael, also the same thing, have a real job, but also contribute many times to the radio station, has been one of the coolest things that we've been able to do, I think, is, you know, is to introduce the listeners of this radio station to you and give you an outlet for your very well thought out and you know, unique positions on the issues, and it's just been it's been a benefit for all of us to have these discussions in a public forum.
I've very much been Tony's Padawan here. It's just teach me your ways. But it was kind of amazing how all of this kind of came about and what it's become, because I never would have dreamed to be on the radio. Like, what is this? What does that mean? Or let alone have a YouTube channel. Yeah, only nerds.
Well, we're all
do
nerds.
radio stuff. Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's been an amazing ride here. I mean, it went from the occasional guest when Tony was guest hosting to now having a regular spot. That's a big deal. And I mean, I kind of feel like a regular staple around here. Everybody knows me. Hey Gabe, how you doing? People asking me when I'm going to get a key.
I mean, that's the magic of 97.1, though.
I'll give
That
you
is
mine
the
on the way
magic
out.
of this station. I think that we have become a family at 97.1. We're always looking out for one another.
Mm-hmm.
If someone is brought in, like Gabe and like Ryan, if someone is brought in, we embrace that person and we welcome them into this family. And there's not that many stations that can say from the morning all the way into the evening that we consider each other friends.
Yeah.
So that's what's special about 97.1.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Absolutely.
Tony, we love you. We are going to miss you. We are holding a spot for you when you decide to come back. If you do decide to do
your
so.
spot, we're gonna put
Yeah.
a name stamp on it.
I couldn't hold it for you for your last
I don't know
show,
what the future holds, but I
in the future.
can't imagine that this is goodbye forever. I'm sure it's.
Yeah.
It is goodbye.
We will turn off the mic. You weren't in here
Maybe
in the
for
studio
Katie it
on
is.
time for Katie. Come back and see us and say hello, and make sure you go to the Facebook Live, the YouTube Live, and read all of these comments. I couldn't possibly read them all on air, although
that's
maybe I
amazing.
will for the entire next segment. There's some
That's
content
awesome.
for the people. Love you, Tony.
Back at you
Appreciate
guys. Thank you so much.
Jules on Hampton in St. Louis Hills is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, and fine watches on site. Jules on Hampton is a premier jeweler with an exquisite selection of diamonds, semi-precious stone jewelry, and vintage watches. Their expert design team can restyle your jewelry to today's contemporary style. They also do jewelry and watch repair. Need extra cash? Jules on Hampton is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, and fine watches. Bring your collectibles and clocks, sports memorabilia, and figurines too. Jules on Hampton, 4506 Hampton, just 3 blocks south of Chippewa. Call them at 314-752-5000. That's 314-752-5000. So if you need some extra cash, looking for that one-of-a-kind piece, make Jules on Hampton your first stop. Jules on Hampton in St. Louis Hills.
So one more commercial, because that's what radio really is all about, selling the advertising and paying the bills. Got to remind you one last time, if you are looking for a dentist for you and your family, we have certainly been catching up after the crazy year that everybody has gone through, and kids and adults alike missing dentist appointments, trying to get your life back on track. Check out my dentist, Dr. Matt Boscia at New Creation Dental Care. Now 2 locations out in Lake St. Louis to serve you. Been a game changer in my life with the sleep apnea treatment, in my daughter's life with the fast braces. They have amazing implant technology that allows you to do so many things in just one stop. It basically is a one-stop solution for all of your dental needs. Can't recommend Dr. Matt Boscia at New Creation Dental Care enough. Learn more on the website, newcreationdentalcare.com.
KFTK FM Florissant, driven by the Bommarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk.
An Odyssey station.
The former president learns his Facebook fate. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. The company says the suspension of the Trump page will no longer be indefinite, but it will last a while. Fox's Jessica Rosenthal has this live.
Lisa, Facebook's vice president of global affairs, Nick Clegg, wrote in a blog post they are suspending former President Trump from their platform for 2 years, effective from the date of his initial suspension, which was January 7th. He noted that while their oversight board upheld the company's suspension of Trump, the indefinite nature amounted to a standardless penalty. It's not entirely clear why 2 years is the amount, but Clegg writes they believe Trump's comments about the Capitol riot on January 6th amounted to a severe violation of their policies. Clegg says at the end of the 2-year period, they will consult experts to see if the risk to the public safety has receded and could opt to extend the suspension beyond that, Lisa.
Thanks, Jessica. In a statement just released, the former president describes the Facebook ruling as abuse and an insult to the people who voted for him, and says the company shouldn't be allowed to get away with censoring and silencing. A better employment report for May, with 559,000 jobs created, about twice as many as April's sluggish reading.
Since then, 21 million more adults have gotten vaccinated, making it easier for them to return to work safely. In short, this is progress, historic progress that's pulling our economy out of the worst crisis it's been in 100 years.
President Biden says his economic plan is working. Republicans say the president's policies are hurting, not helping, and that the pandemic recovery is being fueled by the vaccination program launched by President Trump. President Biden holds another meeting this afternoon with Senator Shelley Moore Capito, the lead Republican negotiator for infrastructure talks. And the White House says it will provide a status report on those talks later today. America is listening to Fox News.
Paid for by government.com. Have you heard? A recent stash of 1906 $10 gold Liberty coins has been found. These gorgeous 1906 O gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck, and less than 17 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Just call government at 1-800-456-2466, and you are guaranteed a mint condition 1906 $10 gold Liberty featuring the iconic O mint mark of the New Orleans Mint. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These 1906 gold coins are still in uncirculated condition. That is 115 years of history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-456-2466. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value free with every order. Call 1-800-456-2466 now to secure your 1906 O Gold Liberty coins before they sell out. That's 1-800-456-2466.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
We've got a pretty good summertime weekend on the way. Plenty of sunshine on this Friday afternoon. Let's warm it up to 86 degrees. We can handle that. Tonight, clear skies the evenings. Great for any outside plans. 65 for the low. Saturday, sunny, 89, 90 for the high. Saturday afternoon, all is quiet Saturday night. Sunday, partly sunny, maybe a spot afternoon thunderstorm, and 88. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon for ThrottleNet, and if you need new IT service and you're a small business owner, or you just need better IT service, why wouldn't you check out ThrottleNet? They won Best in Customer Service from Small Business Monthly this past January, Best in Cybersecurity in Small Business Monthly in February. Ransomware has been huge, unfortunately, on the rise through the pandemic, and ThrottleNet has saved clients $2.6 million in ransom. They protect against ransomware by providing a tool set that provides cybersecurity training for employees, identifying and quarantining an infected machine from the network, and the equipment will recover in less than 24 hours. Take advantage of a great offer. The first 30 days with ThrottleNet are free. There's no onboarding fees if you leave in the first 30 days. ThrottleNet will pay you $1,000 for your trouble. And after the first 30 days, no contracts, they're month to month. Check out ThrottleNet online. Use the 97.1 connection, throttlenet.com/971. Throttlenet.com/971. Get started today.
Warm weather's a great time to train a new puppy. Mark Cox here for my friends at Petland in Lake St. Louis. They've got the puppies. If you've had a hard time finding one, go to petlandstl.com or just pay them a visit. 6131 Ronald Reagan Drive out in Lake St. Louis. Puppies have been hard to come by, but the owners, Tom and Jeff, have amazing relationships. They can offer the best selection of puppies in Missouri. Again, 636-695-4503, petlandstl.com.
This is Ryan. I'm getting a little bit older. I think I'm older than I am. I'm not even 40 yet, but hey, I'm looking down the barrel of the gun now. And we're getting close. And so I'm changing my eating habits, try to stay in shape and maybe not gain as much weight. One of the things that keeps coming back is that meat is good for you. I'm trying to avoid gluten. I'm trying to avoid a lot of the things that they tell you to avoid when you're trying to lose weight. But meat is not one of them. Meat is always a staple of a good diet, at least as far as I can tell. Most diets will include some good protein. My wife is the same way. We're trying to eat better and eat more protein. And so we've been eating a lot of steak and beef and hamburgers and pork. And we always have a bottle of Andrea's sauce. Not just because I talk about Andrea sauce on the radio, but we've always used Andrea sauce my whole life. I grew up using Andrea sauce on everything. And so I'm used to the taste, but I forget that when people try it for the first time, a lot of times they're surprised by how good it is. So if that's you, you've never tried Andrea's sauce, it's St. Louis's steak sauce. Give it a try. It's at area grocery stores, or you can pick up a bottle at andreas.com.
If you've listened to 97.1 FM Talk, you have heard of Doug Voss of Voss Financial Safe Money Radio, as he has been a staple on the station as the financial expert for many years. You can hear him on Safe Money Radio several times a weekend on 97.1 FM Talk. And in case you miss any of those shows, on his podcasts on Odyssey.com and search Safe Money 97.1. So call Doug at 844-676-SAFE. That is 844-676-7233. Doug Voss is a registered representative. Securities offered through D.H. Hill Securities, LLLP. Member FINRA and SIPC.
As a mom, one thing I've learned this past year is when there's a chance to acknowledge a birthday or recognize your family's achievements, do it. I always go to Shane Company for these kinds of gifts because their fine jewelry is so beautiful and will last forever. My daughter graduates from high school soon, and I've been so impressed with how well she's handled this challenging year. For her graduation gift, I bought her a cultured pearl bracelet and matching earrings because every girl needs pearls for her first job interview. My niece had a baby, and I sent her a beautiful locket engraved with the baby's initials. She wears it every day. The gift was so personal, and the shipping was fast and free. Next month is my husband's birthday, and I've got my eye on a stylish signet ring for him. We actually bought our wedding rings at Shane Company 20 years ago. They've always taken such good care of us. They're our jeweler for life.
Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and shaneco.com.
Meridian Waste is currently looking to hire talented CDL drivers for residential, roll-off, and commercial openings at their local office in Florestal, Missouri. If you're interested in working for a growing company that offers a competitive salary, generous benefits that include paid vacation, please reach out today via phone at 314-227-7012 or email your resume to hr@meridianwaste.com for immediate consideration. Good driving record is a must. New drivers are eligible for a $2,500 sign-on bonus. Call today to secure your future and be home every night with your family.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon for CertaPro Painters, professional painting. My favorite thing about CertaPro, you do not have to do the painting. I was hooked several years ago because I did get a free estimate, just like I'm encouraging you to do at CertaPro.com. They came over with a kitchen job, that first job inside a house that I used to own in South City. They did the project so efficiently, so effectively. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. CertaPro.com to get your free estimate today. That's Certa with a C. CertaPro.com. CertaPro Painters, proven and trusted experts in painting. Check them out today, CertaPro.com.
Radio.com is now Odyssey. Download the Odyssey app to listen to 97.1 FM Talk and find content that moves you. The Odyssey app for 97.1 FM Talk on the go. The Annie Fry Show is sponsored by Forensic IT, the tech experts that find the root cause of your technical problems. ForensicIT.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
The filibuster has a long, disgraceful history of being abused to block civil rights and voting rights bills. Michael Higginbotham told you about that just a few months ago on this very show.
The history of it in our country, the Senate filibuster, has been that it has been used to racially oppress. 1846, it prevented an anti-slavery provision in a treaty. 1922, it prevented anti-lynching legislation. 1957, as Dr. West mentioned, it prevented desegregation legislation of schools. So it's part of our history, but it needs to be eliminated now, because if we don't eliminate it, we're going to have the same kind of white supremacist legislators in the minority preventing a majority of legislation from getting passed. Legislation that 60% of the people want.
Oh, man. Don Lemon bringing the heat with the history details here, which is just, hold on, Gabe. I'm going to get to you. I'm going
Sorry,
to let you,
I'm fuming over here.
you're gonna get to your opportunity here to lay in, because yesterday I didn't play this sound, but I have it. I'm pulling it up right now. There are people out there still asking those two senators, we see Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema, on a regular basis being asked about the filibuster, and Kyrsten Sinema has been very
Thanks.
consistent.
Did you have to go? Thanks, you guys.
So you're not going to budge on the filibuster?
So you're not going to budge on the filibuster? And she goes, no. And she's been very consistent.
Well, as folks in Arizona know, I've long been a supporter of the filibuster because it is a tool that protects the democracy of our nation rather than allowing our country to ricochet wildly every 2 to 4 years back and forth between policies. The idea of the filibuster was created by those who came before us, the United States Senate, to create comity and to encourage senators to find bipartisanship and work together. And while there are some who don't believe that bipartisanship is possible, I think that I'm a daily example that bipartisanship is possible.
All right, Gabe, let's go.
She got it. I mean,
right
after that, I'm just like, oh, okay. Well, she said it. but seriously though, it's. I mean, besides the fact that all of those historical examples were Democrats using the filibuster to be racist, I think, the whole purpose of it, again, when the Republicans could have destroyed the filibuster because of the Democrats being racist, they didn't, because they recognized the long-term importance of the filibuster as a tool of the republic. We're not a pure democracy. Pure democracy is the tyranny of the 51%. You can't.
But you would think that the minority, the people who are trying to protect, in the case where we're alleging racism, that the minority would be something that we would want to uphold that part of our structure, and that the Senate would be a place where that could be done. Right?
Well, it only depends on who the minority is at the time, as it relates to power, because that's all and I keep going back to this, but you guys, listeners, you need to understand, liberals are one thing. They have a something about them that makes them want to protect the downtrodden, and they want to point out the problems in the systems. They are more compassionate. They can recognize these things a little more readily than us
Conservatives could use a little more compassion, specifically in their messaging.
Yes, definitely. And we need to be able to have somebody there to point out the blind spots in us, because we like to preserve the systems that appear to be working the best out of all possible systems, kind of thing. That's kind of where we are. It's like, well, we want to protect the system. But occasionally it can use some improvement, and we need the liberals to be able to point that out. Leftists use liberals to use compassionate rhetoric in order to gain power, because their point isn't actually to help people or to make the system be able to be most efficient in helping the people who fall through the cracks. Their point is actually to attain power. So whenever they say anything that sounds mildly compassionate, but there's a power element to it, it's the leftists kind of driving that ship.
And they try to consolidate power by identifying power imbalances that may actually exist. And their solution to the power balance that exists is not to balance the power. It's just that the power would be better served if it were in their hands.
Yes.
That when you're shaking your fist at the man and the Democrats, the big proverbial man, the capital M man, the patriarchy, I don't know what it is. When you're shaking your fist at the man and you're like, this isn't fair, and you're watching a campaign unfold, and the progressive comes in and says, this is unfair, it needs to be balanced, something needs to change, you've been oppressed, you've been held back, you've been held down. Give me the power and I will fix it. It's never give you the power.
No.
Is that the
I think what shocks me about this particular moment, because everything you're saying is very, very true. Everything you're saying, Gabe and Annie, is right. But what they're saying right now is we're in the majority, and we're talking about barely. It's 50-50. You only have the majority because you have the vice president, and they want to get rid of the filibuster right now. Well, they also acknowledge often that the Senate in general is tilted slightly in favor of Republicans because of more states right now that lean red than lean blue right now. So this is kind of like a moment where they barely have the majority, but soon they won't. So yes, you're trying to gain power, but very, very soon you probably will not have that power, and everything will swing away from you for probably longer than you had it. So it's a stupid strategical move.
But that was the case that you just made. There was exactly the case that Donald Trump made for getting rid of the filibuster.
Yeah, oddly enough, he said you're not going to be happy when power changes hands, and that's the point. It's like you have to look 2 or 3 steps beyond what you're talking about right now if you want to do anything worthwhile. And for some reason, besides planning the destruction of systems, the leftists don't seem to have very good long-term planning skills.
That's kind of my question that we're talking about. This is that kind of another stark difference between Democrats and Republicans. Republicans are in it for the long game and the long-term benefits, whereas Democrats are like, right here, right now, we need to solve this right now. It needs to happen.
That's the current state of these Democrats, because they know, when you look at what this administration, and I say that as a broad sense of the term, because I don't feel in any capacity that this is being led by Joe Biden. It's being led by a coalition of people who see an opportunity right here and right now with the power that they have in the House and the Senate and the Oval Office to get things done now, because they have 2 years to knock it out before who knows what happens. If you want to look back in recent history here, you can see what Obama was able to do in his first 2 years to get the Affordable Care Act passed. He got it passed, but it cost him greatly because people campaigned on it in every 2-year election after that. He lost the most Democratic seats that any administration has ever lost in the history of this country over the course of looking at all of these elections that took place across the country. And people were campaigning, in some cases, strictly on repealing the Affordable Care Act. Have we repealed that yet, might I ask? Can I put that on the table to see here if that's been repealed? You look at what Trump did. He got rid of the mandate, which really put the pin in the balloon that says, it's really becomes less serviceable that way. But in the meantime, you've got Republicans over and over and over saying, you elect us and we're going to push back on this. We're going to take this back. Have they implemented a new plan? Have they brought to the table the solution that fixes the problem that was healthcare before Obama said the solution is massive government overtake of this problem? I think right now, Americans more than ever, and we can talk about this too a little bit when we come back, but the Facebook has come out and their oversight board has said that from January 7th, that's the start date, that Trump is going to be banned from Facebook for 2 years. Which will put him past the midterms, certainly, to not be able to be vocal during the midterm elections. But if he decides to run again, would certainly put him back on the scene, unless, of course, that change. It seems pretty arbitrary to me. Yeah. So it's. You can be the Ayatollah and be saying death to America, and you're good on Facebook. But Trump, no. So if Donald Trump decides to run again, is he going to? I don't want to hear Donald Trump run again on how worthless Joe Biden is. I actually would like to see some policy solutions coming forward, some answers to some of these questions. And I have to say, I think it's crap what Facebook is doing. And I'm going to get you guys' reaction to this when we come back to Donald Trump. But it might be the best thing for Donald Trump. If you keep him from making a mess of things with his words, which is what he has right now, for the next 2 years. It seems to me like everyone's worried about the mean tweets. The mean tweets is what really made people hate him. If you take away the meanness and his avenue to emote at any given time in 240 characters, and then you just go back and look at the policies that he had in place and how Joe Biden's number one mission is to undo all of them and how that's working out. Are you trying to get Donald Trump reelected? I don't know if you've really thought this through. Let's talk about it. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Your thoughts and opinions on the live chat on Facebook.com/Annie Fry Show, the Annie Fry YouTube channel. Gabe, Ryan, Katie, you guys can respond as well when we return. Don't go away.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
With Ameren, Missouri, getting summer ready is as easy as HVAC. Now you can get up to $900 back when you purchase a qualifying HVAC system. See? Easy breezy. Find terms and participating contractors at AmerenMissouriSavings.com/HVAC.
Home warranty. I know, right? Buying coverage for appliances, your heater and AC, etc. from a company that hopes you never ever have a claim or call. Let me introduce you to a real home warranty company, the kind that actually wants to help you. Upkeep Home Warranty and Maintenance. Upkeep visit your home 4 times a year to maintain your appliances and equipment. You will never get a lack of maintenance denial because Upkeep does the maintenance. Also nice, Upkeep assigns you one point person to help you. You won't be passed around like an office hot potato, and you won't get subcontractors. Upkeep does all their work, so there's no blame game. Just experts helping you. Visit upkeepstl.com today and type in 971 for $100 off. Don't be denied. Instead, be relieved. Upkeep Home Warranty and Maintenance. 636-387-7331.
Keep up your home with Upkeep. Keep up your home with Upkeep. Keep up your home with Upkeep, and you'll have a happy home.
Stewart's American Mortgage, 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. When you call Stewie, you are going to get access to the bagel loan. This is a great way to save money on your mortgage. If you have a mortgage right now and you are looking to do a refinance, the bagel loan is the way to go. If you are looking to purchase a new home, you cannot miss out on this great opportunity to use the bagel loan and save money up front right away. Put that money on the top of your offer if you're in a competitive buying situation, which most people are, or, potentially just save the money and put a big screen in the new basement that you're moving into. When you use the bagel loan, you pay no lender fees. You pay no closing costs. You pay no title fees taking out that new mortgage. If you're going to do a refinance, he does cash out refinances right now as well. The very best deal in the game is at Stewart's American Mortgage. Call Stewie at 314-324-4440 today. That goes directly to his phone in his hip pocket or on his desk. 314-324-4440. Google the bagel loan to find out more. Stewart'sAMC.com, NMLS number 226715.
Tune into the Del Walmsley Radio Show. Del, self-made millionaire and founder of Lifestyles Unlimited, will show you how to live the life of your dreams and pay for it with passive income.
Listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show this Saturday afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
Save today on your next project with 11% off everything now at Menards. Dutch Boy Max Bond is an exterior paint and primer with extreme adhesion technology. It provides superior adhesion to chalky, dirty, glossy, or previously painted surfaces. Save today on your next project with 11% off all Dutch Boy Max Bond exterior paint. Good through Saturday, June 5th. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Come to the Enchanted Attic. Come to the Enchanted Attic. Come to the Enchanted Attic, and the mysteries of life shall be revealed. Gaze into a crystal ball to see your future. Breathe in the exotic fragrances of incense, candles, and essential oils. Adorn your body with jewelry encrusted with mystical gemstones from around the world. Why, many who enter the magical realm of the Enchanted Attic feel as though they have entered another dimension in time and space. But actually, in reality, they have just entered 304 South Main Street in historic St. Charles, home of the famous Enchanted Attic. This is Diane, and you need to come to the Enchanted Attic. It's mystical, magical, and a whole lot of fun. Open every day, free gift with purchase. You'll love this store.
Free speech is alive. Right here at the frequency of 97.1. It's where St. Louis comes to talk. Freely. 97.1 FM Talk.
Love.
another day.
So President Trump has received his sentencing. Yes, 2 years from the date of January 7th is his time out from Facebook. They have come down with that. And I say, as much as I am grateful for what the president did in his 4 years from a policy standpoint, and as much as I would like to hear from him, and I think it's absolutely wrong, misguided, and biased that this is the action that they are deciding to take. Maybe some side effects, collateral damage of keeping Trump from having the opportunity to, like I said before, emote and speak on any issue at any time. People forget about some of the reasons why they didn't like him, and the absence makes the heart grow fonder. Gabe, what do you think? You're nodding your head.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, because the thing is, the main things that attracted those of us who voted for him to Trump, particularly in the second term, were his policies. And the stark contrast between what he was doing, let's say in 2019, just before the pandemic ruined everything, and what the Biden administration is doing now, you couldn't be further from each other. And the more time people may have to reflect on his presidency from a policy standpoint, as opposed to the sensationalism of the media surrounding him, I think that's all just good stuff, basically, for how they're going to view him. I think ultimately history is probably going to view Donald Trump a lot better than any contemporary version of what we see.
Katie, you and I have off air, probably more than on air, been like, why is he saying this? When Donald Trump is the president, it's like, no, it's not a good look. You didn't need to do it. And I mean, it's a mixed bag. And I think most people who supported Donald Trump for president, who voted for him the first time, who didn't vote for him the first time and decided to vote for him the second time, because there were more of those than the first time around. There's a part of him that you take with the grain of salt because the results were there, and the alternative was Joe Biden. So you vote for Donald Trump and you see these tweets and you're like, gosh, dang it. Stop it. Like, stop making me have to go down that road. What do you think the end game result is if Donald Trump doesn't get to come back on Facebook? And we're not even talking about Twitter here until, I guess, January 7th of 2022. Is this net gain or loss for the president?
I honestly believe the hiatus is good for him. Like, personally good for Trump, because first of all, I think the dude just needed a break. Like, I think the guy just needed to be like, I'm going to go play some golf and take a nap for maybe 5 hours if I can. But I think if he were to still be on social media and that was allowed, don't get me wrong, don't think banning anyone from any social media platform is correct. I don't think that that's the right approach.
Right.
But I think him taking time away to be able to step away from it, formulate what he'd like to do, and not have the pressure of everybody else being like, what is Donald Trump going to do next? It's probably beneficial for him, because if he were still on social media and if he were still in the news cycle, I think the dude would be saying some pretty crazy stuff. I think he would be saying some pretty over the top, pretty wild stuff. So why not take the step back? Why not take the step back? Allow yourself to do whatever you need to do. I think it's good for us, and I think it's good for him. And then whenever he makes whatever comeback that it is, I mean, now From the Desk of Donald Trump is gone, so he doesn't have that anymore. But whatever it is, whether it be Facebook or Twitter or Parler or whatever, it'll be a great splash, and people have missed him enough to get on those platforms and follow him again. Even his haters miss him enough to be like, okay, that was enough time off from Donald Trump. Let's get back into it.
Oh, see the Babylon Bee article? It's like CNN hires Donald Trump to get their ratings back.
But really, they miss him so much.
The bee is,
and
they need him.
They need him, and although it's probably giving them a little bit of peace and quiet in their own mind, they miss the drama. They do miss it. So to me, what's crazy about everything is that whenever I thought when Trump was first initially banned, I'm like, oh my gosh, how are we all going to do this? Like, if you guys remember, every single day, everyone in the media was talking about his tweets.
Yep.
Every tweet, every second, what is he going to do next? I was like, there's no way that anyone is going to be able to survive in conservative or very liberal media without Trump. And now that he's gone, I'm like, wow, I think we're
fine.
Yeah, we're fine.
They're
we're finding a lot of
though.
things to talk about and to do. And it's like, oh, okay, he's gone. Okay.
Right.
What do you think, Ryan?
As much as I want to disagree with you, and I think when we've intermittently talked about this issue, I have disagreed with
Why
you.
is it that you?
Well,
as much as I want to
disagree with you,
because in the last couple of months, when the issue
Contrarian.
comes up, I have disagreed, and I said I think a vocal Trump probably is a good thing. But over the last couple months, what we've seen is that when he does speak out, which isn't a ton, or at least it's not breaking through, he's talked about issues like the border and COVID, and it's like nobody seems to really give it much attention anymore. And maybe that's because of Facebook, but I still think that it may just be because he's not the president. People are kind of looking past him, especially mainstream media.
Which I never thought was going to happen.
I didn't either.
Mm-hmm.
But he's when he talks about anything that does get attention, like the audits, for instance, he's very, very focused on the audits that are happening in Maricopa, especially. So when he mentions that stuff, what he does, as we all know, because we live with 4 years of him, is that he speaks from the gut and he gets little details wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not necessarily saying something that's entirely false. He's saying something that's mostly true, but gets a detail wrong. And so the mainstream media jumps on the detail that he got wrong and runs with just that and calls him a liar. And that's still happening when he talks about this stuff. So that kind of stuff, when I see it happening now, makes me agree with you that it's probably better for him to lay low right now.
We've discussed this over the course of time, and it's an evolving conversation. And it's one that I have actively said I don't like to dabble in too much because I think it's one of the least important conversations to have. But in the light of him and this news with Facebook coming out, Donald Trump's presence in the Republican Party and what he means to the future of the Republican Party, do you feel, Gabe, that it's Donald Trump or bust in 2024? Or do you think, I mean, I'm a firm believer. I'm just going to put this out there before you guys all give me your answers. I'm a firm believer that what Donald Trump has done so far to the Republican Party is so transformational that we don't have to have a second term of Donald Trump for what he's done for our party, but mostly for our country, to have enormous lasting power. And like any athlete, I saw Albert Pujols was interviewed. I think it was by Derek Gould of the Post-Dispatch. Was like, why do you still come out here and why do you still want to continue to pursue this game? And he's like, if you do something you like, he asked. I think it was Derek Gould. I hope I'm getting that right. He said, "Do you feel like you've already written your best story? Because if you have, why don't you just quit?" And the truth is that when you love what you're doing, if you love writing, if you love being on the air, if you love being an astronaut, Gabe, then when you feel like there's another day in you, you want to continue to do that. I could absolutely see how Donald Trump would be in that mindset, but there's a huge, huge thing about knowing when to go out on top and hand it off to the next person, because we can't be a cult of personality. And there is a part of that element to Donald Trump that is pervasive, just like it was with Obama and other major political figures. Do you think, Gabe, that Donald Trump, that would the country, not the party, not Donald Trump himself, would the country be better off in 2024 with a second term of Donald Trump, or with the next thing that the Republican Party has to offer this country, taking a chance?
I think you're right in that the Trump effect on the party has already happened. It's already, and I think for the most part the party is absorbing the good parts and leaving sort of the bad parts. You see that in what I think the current public performance of Ron DeSantis. I'm a DeSantis 24 guy.
Me too.
Yes, and I don't want him as a running mate to Trump, or Trump as a running mate to him
Trump
either.
is nobody. Everybody stop.
Nobody, yeah, no way.
Donald Trump
exactly.
could be the victim.
It's like, no, that's not good. No.
Can you imagine Donald Trump knocking on your door all the time?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. No, but I mean, as much as I miss how he would completely roast Fauci over these emails over Twitter, I'm glad he's kind of in the back on the sidelines right now. And I think the idea of him basically acting as kingmaker on some level for political candidates across the country is fine. It's a fine role for him to have. But in terms of the face that the party needs to push forward, we need somebody like a DeSantis who is capable of fighting, but he's not so uncouth that he turns the fence sitters off, because really those are the people we need to be going after. I mean, as partisan as the country appears on social media, we still have those people who are in the middle who voted one way or the other across multiple presidential elections, and we need to be able to stretch across that divide to grab them up before the left does. And Trump is the one to do that.
DeSantis's background too. If you missed my book report on Ron DeSantis, I think it was maybe 2 Fridays ago.
Yeah.
Fridays ago.
Yep.
It was like 3 Fridays ago.
It was a Thursday, I think.
It was me reading Wikipedia.
Yeah.
And being very impressed.
And it was awesome.
That I did not know until I looked into Ron DeSantis's background. And I mean, the man has many accomplishments that have put him in a position to have the wisdom to succeed in that. What do you think, Katie? Donald Trump's presence in 2024, what best serves the future?
I think we needed a Donald Trump to get to a Ron DeSantis. I think we absolutely needed someone.
A finger point head nod from Gabe on that one.
I just think we needed someone bold with a strong spine that was willing to put very good conservative policies out there and not back down. We needed that as a party to reinvigorate one another and say, this is what we've been missing. We didn't even realize that this is what we needed, and we do. Fighter. And we needed him.
The hero we needed.
And I mean, there's obvious we've been going around.
What's the one you deserve?
Right.
Or stuff like that.
And exactly.
Yeah,
maybe
the Dark Knight.
We all can go around here and say the bad things about Donald Trump. Everybody that ever has anything good to say about Donald Trump always follows it up with, and there are plenty of bad things about him too, because there are.
Yeah.
But to get to a Ron DeSantis, someone with a spine, someone with a backbone, someone who does eat no for breakfast, I'm sure.
And he serves it up quite a bit too.
To get to someone like him who is still great with the media, but doesn't take their BS, who is still great in an interview and is so articulate with everything that he does and all the policies that he wants to enact. He is the future to the Republican Party, and the only way you can get to that future is to have someone like Donald Trump.
Ryan, if it's not Ron DeSantis and it's not Donald Trump, are there other people out there right now that you think are, or is that just the two?
It's got to be. I mean, I'm not saying a Republican couldn't win pretty easily in 2024, but that Republican, DeSantis, is by far ahead. I mean, assuming Trump's not going to run again, he's by far ahead of everybody else, because like you said, Trump really did change what Republicans are looking for. Before him, it was like, well, Saturday Night Live's making fun of my guy, I guess I got to laugh along with it because that's what everybody does. That's never going to happen again. There's now always going to be a Republican who says, I'm going to fight like hell because I'm right. That's what Republican conservative voters are looking for.
Yes.
Because we feel that we've been walked all over for so long in culture, and we have the solutions to so many problems, and nobody will listen, and everybody's just fed up with it. And so Trump came along with this giant megaphone and was just swinging his feet and marching, and he's like, well, we're right, we're gonna do it this way. And then he did it, and he proved that it did work. And it took, I guess, that big bold personality to pave the way for future Republicans to do that same type of thing again, without all of the gold and the bronze.
Could you imagine a President McCain or a President Romney or any of these people doing anything like?
But what if DeSantis doesn't run?
Oh,
that won't happen.
That's the chill down my spine, Katie. Don't do that.
It's going to be Trump or somebody else. I mean, we know that, and the person who runs, who is going to be, you can't run in opposition and in the primary in opposition to Trump. The Adam Kinzingers of the world, the Mitt Romneys of the world, the future of the Republican Party will not be in their hands. There's a place for them. You always have to remember that they represent their constituents. And if you've got Senator from Maine, what's her name? This is pregnancy. Susan Collins. If you've got Susan Collins up there, and she has, a very complicated, complex state to represent, and what you think in Oklahoma looks like a Republican senator, that's not the way it looks in Maine. And if you want the Democratic version of what comes out of Maine, I'll take Susan Collins every day of the week and twice on Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
I look at the makeup of House specifically, which is even more hyper local by design, and then the Senate, and you see these folks who are like Mitt Romney. I mean, Mitt Romney is kind of a carpetbagger in that regard as well. He found a place where he thought he could win. That's not the future of the Republican Party. But it also might not be the case that on a national scale, somebody like Matt Gaetz, who's like as in the Trump bag as you possibly can be, might not be the national solution to the non-Trump option that has to run. And whoever it is, Donald Trump will have to bless it. And that person will have to be able to speak to people that don't live squarely in the Trump camp. That's just the way the future of the Republican Party is going to have to go. Someone who's going to have to be able to stretch their arms to both sides of the tent and bring people in, because look what the alternative is. It's a frightening thing to look at right now. Quick break. When we come back, we're going to do a little real or fake news here on the Annie Fry Show, which we always do on Friday. I'm going to welcome Corey Malone, who is the owner of Air Comfort Service, into the show in the 2:00 hour. He's going to talk to us about the partnership that Air Comfort has with the Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Wanted to have this conversation on Memorial Day week and talk about what Air Comfort is doing to support this really, really awesome mission. So Corey Malone's going to talk to us about that in the 2:00 hour. But real or fake news when we come back. Don't go away.
Another day, another night.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Air Comfort Service is proud to support Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Sign your veteran up for their honor flight today at gslhonorflight.org. And for free HVAC estimates, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Tony LaRussa here. Men, are you running out of stamina rounding third base? If so, call my friends at Victory Men's Health in O'Fallon, Illinois. Scoring at home is important, just as important as crossing the plate with a winning run. VictoryMen'sHealth.com.
Spring is a great time to upgrade the energy efficiency in your home with new windows. Mark Cox here from my friends at Window World. I'm a satisfied customer. You will be too. Call them today for a free home estimate. They'll show you why they are simply the best for less. Window World windows are so durable. They stand behind their windows with a lifetime warranty that covers all parts and glass breakage and labor. They were ranked #1 in windows sold in the country by Qualified Remodeler magazine, and they're the preferred window of the St. Louis Blues. Window World does great work, as they did in my home when they replaced 2 large bathroom windows. They measured them, they built them, and got them installed in no time. You will love working with my friends over at Window World. They're now offering 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit. Call them today at 314-993-1800, 993-1800, or windowworld.com.
Thomas Helbig and the Retirement Advisory Group have been helping people exactly like you make sure that they're comfortable and confident when retirement is starting to set in. Sounds like a great time, right? When that light at the end of the tunnel starts to get a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger. You're thinking about leaving your job, potentially retiring, but you want to make sure that all that hard work, effort, and sacrifice you've put into saving for your retirement, that it's going to be there for you just as you expected when you were sticking that money away. Thomas Helbig is the expert at that. He's never had a client lose a penny. You need to be one of those clients. Call him today at 314-993-9494. That's 314-993-9494. When you call and make an appointment with him, you're going to have a no-cost, no-obligation retirement review. You're going to get a free copy of his best-selling book. It's a second edition now, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement, which covers everything that he goes over in his educational seminars, which I have attended and are fantastic. Call him now to schedule your appointment. Tell him the Annie Fry Show said hello, 314-993-9494. You can find him online at retirementkey.com.
Before buttons, things were much harder, like starting an outboard motor. Or even treating sleep apnea. If you've tried CPAP but struggle to get a good night's sleep, relief can be as easy as a button with Inspire.
Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that works inside your body with just the click of a remote. No mask, no hose, just sleep. To learn more, visit InspireSleep.com. Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.
Hey guys, Glover here from my friends at Amoso Properties. Do you have a rental property, but you're unhappy with your current property manager? Are you managing your rental property yourself, but you're just sick of all the headaches? Call Amoso Properties. They use cutting-edge technology to keep you completely updated all the time. Call Joe, the owner, at 636-757-3406 or go to amosoproperties.net. That's AMOSO properties.net.
Race fans, I'm IndyCar driver Ed Jones. Buying a car is just a few clicks away at bonmarito.com, new or pre-owned. See it today, drive it today. Shop thousands of vehicles and buy 100% online with Bon Marito Fast Pass. Schedule your test drive, finance, and get more for your trade. A better experience, a better price. Go with the automotive leader, Missouri's #1 automotive group. Open 24/7 at bonmarito.com, and I'll see you at the track.
The Weekend Report.
Join us this week as we play back some of our favorite recent interviews with people like Eric Schmidt, Rodney Davis, and Burgess Owens. It's the best of The Weekend Report.
The Weekend Report. Saturdays at 5 on 97.1.
Welcome back to the Annie Fried Show. How are you doing today? Appreciate you spending some time with us here on a Friday afternoon. Reminder, you can stream us on the Odyssey app. Download it to your phone. Take 97.1 FM Talk with you anywhere you go. We do a little thing on Fridays called Real or Fake News. We're going to hit that right now. So basically, we get to make statements that we firmly, dedicatedly believe in. And then we get to tell each other whether or not that's real or fake news. Gabe gave a strong fist bump that time. I think he's got something for us.
Oh, yeah.
Gabe, real or fake news? You take the first one.
All foreign aid should end until we get domestic spending under control.
Oh,
cut it.
It's just so broad.
Ooh.
A light topic for a Friday afternoon.
To stop.
All of it?
All of it.
Until we get
domestic spending under control.
Well, let's just, I got to ask, follow up. What is under control?
That's a good question, Gabe.
Not in excess of $1 trillion more than what we actually take in. We can start there. Get it.
That's
under.
like the same goal I have for my home budget.
But what would that do to our allies? What would that? Yeah, what would that do? I mean, would we be putting that in danger?
Are they really your allies if they're just sucking you dry?
Well, we're obviously going to be getting something from them if
it's the same thing.
It's an exchange, right?
Now, see, that's the thing. I think there are deals and then there's aid. I think we give away a lot of money as opposed to make. We're
having a negotiation.
We sell weapons to Israel. We don't give weapons to Israel.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. If we were just giving stuff to people, no, stop.
I'm going to just start and say, I think it's fake news, and it hurts me to say that, but we are the richest country in the world. I think China. Are we still the richest country in the world?
Oh, yeah.
We are a very blessed,
by far,
wealthy country, and we have a lot of charity to give. I think we should be able to walk and chew gum at the same time. Let's not be fooling ourselves that the massive amounts of spending that we have right now are in many cases pandering so that the same people can continue to keep power. We should be able to help the helpless home and abroad and not spend ourselves into oblivion for some power consolidation right now. But it is out of control and it does need to. And I think that you're like, we should be close to $1 trillion in balance. That's a good start. And a sad state of the affairs.
I'm going to say, even though I appreciate the sentiment for us being charitable as a nation, I'm going to say real news. Because I think because that's the caveat. It's like, well, a lot of the stuff we're doing, we all in this room would agree with. Like, we should not be doing 90% of that. But there's that little bit that you're like, well, there's some foreign aid that actually is pretty good. I think that's we should try to privatize and let people do it, let companies do it from the goodness of their hearts and get the government out of it.
It's also foreign policy and defense strategy.
I get it.
It's not like we're doing canned food drives for people in third world countries, and that's the extent of it.
I only say fake news because I am afraid of what happens for national defense, our allies, foreign policy. I feel like all of that starts to come into play whenever we're messing around with helping one another out. And I don't necessarily know if I want to get into a world war because we can't balance our darn budget.
Yeah, like I said, we need to be able to do things.
That's a good question, though. I mean, would they attack us if we stopped giving them money? Maybe we should stop giving them money anyway.
Well, it's, like I said, there are a lot of the generosity that America has across the country, which is another reason we should be more willing to demand the respect that we deserve because of what we do. We have been richly blessed. I think we have a responsibility to bless others with that. Our own incompetence and ignorance at our government level should not stop us from being able to make smart financial moves around the world. But by God, yes, should we start making some smart financial moves to protect also your domestic spending and your ability to stay within a reasonable budget is a defense issue. And you can ask anybody about debt and people owning your debt and how that implies a defense concern as well across the country. Ryan, you got one? Go ahead.
The most interesting story so far of the year, because we're not quite halfway through, but I was looking back. The most interesting story of the year that does not have to do with politics has been GameStop and meme stocks.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to do with politics. Okay. Wow. I got to look back. I got to open up the vault and look back.
You've got GameStop, you've got Dogecoin. I think
that wouldn't be included. Yes.
AMC is one of these things now that's taken off.
Stocks.
Yeah.
Just
trading.
that whole world has been so strange and just fascinating to follow.
Just memes becoming financial instruments.
Yes.
I mean,
Real or fake?
That's real. That's totally real. Because Dogecoin is a meme, okay? It's based on a meme, but it made several billionaires.
Yes.
It's like, come on.
It's so interesting.
I'm going to say it is interesting, but is it the most interesting outside of politics? I don't know. I'm going to say fake.
Okay.
I'm going to say fake news because I couldn't care less. There are so many people who are not in. I mean, if you're in it and you're making money, I get why that is the most interesting to you. So it's a matter of perspective and interest, and I don't have any interest in it.
No skin in the game.
I've got a 401k and I check it on the regular and I look at it and I'm like, well, that went up. That's great. That went down. Crap. But I don't really know a whole lot about it, which is why we have a bunch of economic experts to come on and talk to us about the economy, because I'm certainly not one. I remember being on vacation when the first what was the first one? What was the first?
GameStop.
What was it?
GameStop? You talking about this year?
Yeah, I was on vacation, so I wasn't paying
I think it was
attention
GameStop,
a lot. And then seeing all the news stories pop up, and I'm like, this is boring. I'm not paying attention to it. So I think it's feast or famine. Definitely, if you're in that game, then I can totally see how that would be the biggest story. Katie, what do you got?
Too many people believe what they say is incredibly compelling and important because of social media, and most of the time it's not.
Ooh. Fake news. It's all super compelling.
Everything I say is so great.
That I say, because I know you're directing that at me.
Maybe I am.
Maybe.
I don't know if you could hear the look that Katie just gave Ryan.
It was real. That was real.
It
lasted longer than I expected to.
Now that Tony's gone,
Yeah.
I got my eyes on bullying somebody else in the show.
Oh, here we go.
I don't know how you disagree with that. Yeah, it's true news.
Yeah, that's real. That's totally. So many people think that. Okay, I have this theory, and you know how intelligence runs on a bell curve, right?
No,
most
not that smart.
Yeah,
most
we
people.
don't know.
I shook my head like I knew, but
You're a smart person, and you
most
told me,
people
so I
are-
don't believe
most
it.
people are clustered in the middle, right?
Okay.
Because, they're average, right? You have average
Bell
intelligence.
curve.
Thank you.
The bell curve, right? I think people on social media all think they are on this side of the bell curve. When
But I
good
took
portion
an
of them are on
internet
that
IQ
side of the
test.
bell curve.
Yes, I
That was
took
10 questions
Yeah.
long, and it told me that
Yeah, I
I
took
was
one of those tests.
most relatable to Goofy, and
Yeah.
that my IQ was 158.
Me
It
too.
told me I had
Me
good
too.
brains.
I got Ariel though.
Everybody knows.
Oh man, yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
I don't have a real or fake news. I just don't want to be pregnant anymore.
Fake news. You do want to be pregnant.
Fight you through my screen and this microphone.
You do.
Gabe, you had another one. Go ahead.
Yeah, hold on. Let me find it again. Sometimes the extreme position is the right one. We hear a lot about people being called extremists and you're just an extremist, and extremist is cast as a really, really bad word. But sometimes the quote unquote extreme position is the right position to have. Republicans, I always think of Republicans during the just before the Civil War. They were called extremists.
Yeah, I was just gonna say whether that's real or fake depends on who gets to set the spectrum, right?
Yeah.
And the biggest messenger in the world right now has a huge advocacy for one particular bent. So you can have an opinion. I have opinions that I know that people would say are extreme. I don't think they're extreme, and I share those opinions less because it's a fight to go out there and say it. But where it falls on a spectrum, that doesn't necessarily dictate truth or not. I think that's real news.
I do too, and I think that we've seen, especially in the last year, that has been proven to be true more than ever with things that a year ago were considered total fringe craziness, and now they're true. Oh, okay, I guess it wasn't so extreme after all.
Yeah, I think that is real news as long as there are some things you can compromise on. Have your staunch morals and staunch opinions, but there's got to be some wiggle room for other things.
Amen.
All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back in the next hour, we got a few open segments. We're going to continue on with the fun. Corey Malone's going to join us in about 2:10. We're going to talk to him about the work the Air Comfort Service is doing with the Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Do you know about the Greater St. Louis Honor Flight? This is an amazing, amazing opportunity for people who have given so much to our country. We're going to talk to Corey Malone about how he's supporting it and how you can support it as well. Stick around. Andy Fry Show around the corner.
How's Diesel Defender with IDX4 detergent defends your engine better than a horde of Vikings? Nothing can maximize lubricity or destroy harmful deposits better than Diesel Defender. With the power of 1,000 men, boost your fuel economy to new heights. Safely remove water to keep pure fuel flowing through your system like a ship cutting through the sea. Arm your engine at every fill-up with the strongest diesel additive in all the land. How's Diesel Defender? Tested, trusted, guaranteed. Explore even more at howsproducts.com.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon from my friends at Zero Res. Welcome to June. That is the official start of summer. Now raise your hand if it means you have a list you have to tackle this summer. The good news is you're not alone, and nobody knows that better than my cleaning heroes at Zero Res. Summer is probably the best time to call Zero Res to get all the nasty dirt, dander, and grime out of your home. This is kind of nasty. Speaking of nasty, did you know that the average home takes in over 40 pounds of dust and dirt a year? So your carpet is the biggest air filter in your home, so it needs some summer loving to keep it fresh and clean. This month's Mark Reardon 97.1 special, 3 rooms of carpet cleaned and sanitized, starting at just $129. This will be the easiest chore on your to-do list this summer because Zero Res does all the work. Don't forget about those air ducts. This month, get $50 off your air duct cleaning. The certified team at Zero Res is going to use their negative air 12-step cleaning process to extract all the crud out of the ducts. Call today. Book an appointment, 474-2020. Make sure you mention my name. Online, ZeroResSTL.com. You spell it backward or forward, it spells the same. Zero Res.
Hi, it's Michael Mohan with Community Mortgage. Interest rates are still at historic lows. If you have not taken advantage of today's low rates, what are you waiting for? Whether your goal this year is to refinance to a shorter term, cash out to pay off debt, or maybe remodel your home, maybe purchase your first or even your 5th home, our low rates will save you money. I'm here in St. Louis and want to put my local market experience to work for you. Whether purchasing or refinancing, my goal is to help you save money on your home loan. And when you call, don't be surprised when I answer the phone. Call me today, Michael Mohan, 314-336-6050, 314-336-6050, 314-336-6050, or online at communitymortgagestl.com.
Community Mortgage LLC, 224143, NMLS 250353.
What makes for a great vacation? Depends on who you ask. Are you looking to get away or bring everyone together? Do you want to get outside and play or see a play at the plate? Fortunately, however you operate, I'm the destination you've been looking for. The name's Missouri, but you can call me Mo. And I have just one question. What's your MO? Come see me at visitmo.com.
Brought to you by the Missouri Division of Tourism.
KFTK FM Florissant, driven by the Bommarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk.
An Odyssey station.
Words do matter. Elisa Brady, Fox News. That's part of the White House reaction to Facebook's new decision about the former president's page. And he's responding too. Fox's Jessica Rosenthal has more live.
Lisa, Facebook's vice president of global affairs wrote in a blog post, the former president will be suspended for 2 years, writing that their oversight board upheld their decision to suspend Trump after comments he made about the Capitol rioters, but criticized their decision to leave the suspension indefinite. So Clegg says at the end of 2 years, they will consult with experts to see if the public threat has receded. The former president wrote in a statement that Facebook's decision is an insult to the 75 million who voted for him in what he called the 2020 rigged election, adding that they shouldn't be allowed to get away with this, censoring and silencing, writing that ultimately we will win, Lisa.
Thanks, Jessica. President Biden focusing today on the economy's pandemic recovery, arguing his policies are working.
It's due in no small part, first of all, the cooperation of the American people in responding to my effort to get COVID under control, wearing masks initially and getting vaccinated. And it's no small part to the bold action we took by passing the American Rescue Plan.
Republicans say his spending plans are fueling inflation. Talks on an infrastructure package continue for now, including a possible minimum corporate tax rate. The White House considers that separate from what Treasury Chief Janet Yellen is pitching to G7 counterparts.
She's pushing an administration plan to put a minimum 15% tax rate floor on business profits in countries all around the world. Its aim, according to the White House, is to stop a race to the bottom by tax haven countries for companies, including American, looking for the lowest tax rates.
Fox's Greg Palcott in London. For the second year in a row, Walmart will close on Thanksgiving Day. The retail giant calls it a thank you to associates for continued hard work during the pandemic. America is listening to Fox News.
Paid for by government.com.
Have you heard? A recent stash of 1906 $10 gold Liberty coins has been found. These gorgeous 1906 O gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck, and less than 17 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Just call government at 1-800-456-2466, and you are guaranteed a mint condition 1906 $10 gold Liberty featuring the iconic O mint mark of the New Orleans Mint. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These 1906 gold coins are still in uncirculated condition. That is 115 years of history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-456-2466. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value free with every order. Call 1-800-456-2466 now to secure your 1906 O Gold Liberty coins before they sell out. That's 1-800-456-2466.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
We've got a pretty good summertime weekend on the way. Plenty of sunshine on this Friday afternoon. Let's warm it up to 86 degrees. We can handle that. Tonight, clear skies the evenings. Great for any outside plans. 65 for the low. Saturday, sunny. 89, 90 for the high. Saturday afternoon, all is quiet Saturday night. Sunday, partly sunny, maybe a spot afternoon thunderstorm, and 88. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Presented by Indeed. If you're hiring this summer, you need Indeed. With Indeed Instant Match, just post a sponsored job, and you'll immediately get a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed fit your job description. Learn more at Indeed.com/credit.
Hey, Tony Colombo here for our family dentist, Dr. Matt Boscia at New Creation Dental Care. My wife and I have been taking our kids and ourselves to Dr. Boscia for years, and he has been awesome for us. And now New Creation has 2 locations you can go to and has added Dr. Jennifer Allen to the team. So now you can take advantage of all the great services and wonderful care from New Creation Dental Care at 2 locations, the original Lakeside Drive office and now the Civic Center office at 191 Civic Center Drive in Lake St. Louis. New Creation is a one-stop solution for all your dental needs, whether it be the basic stuff or the not so basic, like orthodontics or the amazing implant technology they offer. They also offer early morning and evening appointments, so you don't have to mess with your work schedule or your kid's school schedule just to get to the dentist. And they are there for anyone, whether you're an existing patient or not, for same-day emergency treatment. Learn about all those great services and so many more on their website, newcreationdentalcare.com. That's newcreationdentalcare.com.
The all-new Hyundai Tucson features digital key technology and remote smart parking assist, plus complimentary maintenance for 3 years or 36,000 miles and 10 years of America's best warranty. It is, without question, our best Tucson ever. Lease the all-new 2022 Tucson for $279 a month for 36 months with $35.99 due at signing. See your local St. Louis Hyundai dealer today. Offer ends July 5th, 2021. Call 224-661-0068 for details.
You've heard it before, and it's true. The easiest way to freshen up the look in your home or your business is with a new coat of paint. It's Mark Reardon for CertaPro Painters, and with CertaPro, it's even better. You don't have to do the work yourself. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. These are local painting crews in our area. They do business and residential, whether you need interior or exterior work. You can trust CertaPro to deliver top-notch results every time. That's why I've hired them time and time again. Your free estimate is just a couple of clicks away at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. CertaPro Painters.
Getting ready for the big day? Come to Shane Company for picture-perfect jewelry, classic styles for the bride and groom, and gifts for the bridal party. Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and Shaneco.com.
Playoff basketball is here, and before you bet on any of the postseason games, you need to check out BetQL. BetQL analyzes every game to help you make the smartest possible bets. Sometimes the spread is off by a few points, or the total is way too high or low. BetQL finds those opportunities so you can take advantage and cash in. Ready to win more consistently? Visit BetQL.com and use promo code PLAYOFFS for 20% off. That's 20% off with promo code PLAYOFFS at BetQL.com.
Odyssey.com is a universe of audio, and it's where you can download the app to stream 97.1 FM Talk. The Odyssey app. Download it today and stream anytime from anywhere. 97.1 FM Talk. The Annie Fry Show is sponsored by Forensic IT, the tech experts that find the root cause of your technical problems. ForensicIT.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Happy Friday. Beautiful weekend here ahead of us, as I understand it. It's going to feel a little more like summer. I think there's a pool in my future. I hope. I hope you're enjoying the day this afternoon, and we're glad that you're here. This is Memorial Day week. We had a holiday on Monday. It's one of those holidays that I think really sets the tone for summer coming forward, and there's a lot of family time that is spent, and there's a lot of barbecuing and beer drinking, as it should be. But of course, with Memorial Day, we do recognize those people who have fought and sacrificed the ultimate sacrifice for our country. And, you know, that's reserved for Memorial Day. That's the specific purpose of Memorial Day, to talk about those people, to remember those people, and to be grateful for these people who, men and women, who have given the ultimate sacrifice to preserve our freedom. Our ability to come on to the show here on the Annie Fry Show and bicker about whether or not we think things are real or fake, and to talk about different issues and policies and come at it from different angles. That is such an important thing to acknowledge. When it comes to our veterans, the people who have served in our military forces, who have given so much, there's a specific entity that exists here in St. Louis. It's the Greater St. Louis Honor Flight, and I think it deserves to get way more attention than it does. And that's why I want to bring Corey Malone onto the show. Corey Malone is the owner at Air Comfort Service, a great partner of the station, of the show, a friend of mine. Corey, welcome onto the Annie Fry Show. It's great to have you back.
Well, thanks, Annie. I appreciate it.
You've made a very, very concerted effort to use Air Comfort Service's prominence in St. Louis. You've been in business for over half a century. You do wonderful work there. Air Comfort Service has been fantastic to my family. But you have used it as an opportunity to give back in a really, really great way. And you are the best person that I can think of to have come on here and talk about the Greater St. Louis Honor Flight, what it is, and what your partnership has meant to you as the owner at Air Comfort Service.
Well, thank you. And especially after, coming after the year we've been through, I know the folks at Honor Flight really appreciate you giving me the time to talk. Like I said, it was a rough year. Honor Flight is a national organization, and the St. Louis chapter was the only one in the country last year that was able to get a flight off.
Wow.
And they got a flight off at the beginning of March. And of course, everything closed down after that. But, I talked to the folks over there recently, and some disturbing things came out of it that really bothered me. And the one is, 60 veterans didn't get to go last year that were scheduled. But because of that, 10 of them passed away.
Oh, so they never made it.
Didn't get a chance to go. And that's tragic. It's awful. And, the folks over at Honor Flight are, so what it is, they prioritize World War II, Korea War veterans, and Vietnam veterans. And then if there's some illnesses in there, they work that in as well. But it's a flight. They fly on Southwest Airlines, which is a great partner with them. Go to Washington, D.C., get on some motorcades, and they go through Washington with a police escort, which is really cool because there's no traffic. And then they hit all the memorials. And it's just unbelievable to see, how the veterans just kind of transport back in time. And, with the World War II veterans, when they go to the World War II memorial, and they go around to all the big pieces of granite that have all the states on them, and they look and you can tell they just start thinking, and it just brings back all these memories for them. And it's just amazing. It's an unbelievable thing to be able to take part of. And unfortunately, last year, they rely on volunteers, and they rely on sponsorships. And a lot of the corporate sponsorships have kind of dropped off. And that's a big deal because these flights are not cheap. And what St. Louis Group is doing this year, they have 3 flights set up towards the end of the summer, starting on August 31st. And not only, usually they take, a couple dozen veterans, they have their escorts, they have the flight leaders and the medical corps that goes. But this year they've got 3 full planes that they're taking. So it's going to be a huge undertaking, and it's very, very expensive. So, when I think of corporate sponsorships, I'm thinking of, the multinational corporations. That's not the case. We do what we can. My mission from Honor Flight is to kind of get the word out type thing. But then also there's some monetary things that take place in that too. So if you've got a small business or a family business or a medium business or whatever you do, if you can spare anything, this is a great organization to give your donate your hard-earned money to, because it goes to a great cause. The Honor Flight people are pretty amazing. From what I've seen, every dollar you give them goes towards these veterans, and it's a pretty unbelievable organization.
I want to invite anybody who's listening to Corey Malone, who's speaking here with us, who owns Air Comfort Service here in St. Louis. If you are in a position where you have that business that would like to be involved, you can message the Facebook page if you're interested, and I can help connect you with the people who you might be able to be connected with to become active in this. I would assume, I'm looking at the GSL, that's Greater St. Louis honorflight.org, GSLhonorflight.org. And, super easy to just go there. Anybody can go there and make a donation. When these veterans have the opportunity to go, you said, what were the wars? That was World War II, Vietnam, and the Korean War?
Korean War, yes.
When they get the opportunity to come together as a group of people and experience this moment together, I would imagine my grandfather was in World War II, and he did tell some stories. He wasn't, a lot of them never spoke about it at all, but he did tell some stories. He actually ended up writing a book that included some of that information in his service there as well. For some people, they may not have talked about it at all. I would imagine the amount of emotion that exists in this experience, especially at this point in their life, is just quite an undertaking.
It's pardon me. It's unbelievable. I was fortunate enough to be an escort on one of the flights. When we became, when we started our partnership with Honor Flight, and it was unbelievable. It was a day that will always change my life. I went with a veteran that I didn't know, knew nothing about him, met him that morning at the airport at like 4:30 in the morning. And he was very stoic. And once we started, especially when we got to the Marine Memorial, the Iwo Jima Memorial, he broke down and just fell apart. And it was because that's where he was. He was a merchant marine, but he was in the Pacific, and he knew people on all of these islands and knew people that died and got maimed and didn't make it back, and knew a lot that made it back, of course. But I just looked around, and that was amazing. And then on the flight home, there's a really cool thing they do. It's called mail call. So I probably shouldn't say this because if there's any vets listening, it used to be a surprise. I don't know if it still is. Mm-hmm. But they get a big packet of mail from friends and family and everything. And one of the guys I was sitting next to said, my son has never spoke this much to me. And he wrote him like 8 pages.
Wow.
And it was so touching. And then not only to do that, but when they get back, because they fly Southwest, so it's over in Terminal 2, go to gslhonorflight.org, find out when the flights are. And if you can't help, whatever, take your kids out, take your baseball, softball team, little leagues, get these kids out to see this homecoming that happens. The whole concourse is full, and these vets have no idea what's happening until it happens. And it's such a surprise, and to see the joy and the emotions in their face, and to be able to share that with your kids is pretty powerful.
It's important. It's so important, especially, today in this world that we live in right now, and the way things are talked about in the media. If you can provide that experience, I mean, I'm thinking about it for myself, let alone showing my children the gratitude that is necessary to show these people who have come before us, and to know that they're going to be needed. People like that in the future. This is where we've been, and we need to preserve this sort of respect and reverence for those who have served before us. There's nothing that can erase the experience of seeing that and feeling that with your own presence when that return happens. Corey, Air Comfort Services partnership with GCL or with Greater St. Louis Honor Flight is so important. I want to thank you for doing that, and I want to thank you for giving us some time here to talk about that. Encourage people to go to gslhonorflight.org right now to read more about it. I would ask you to donate millions and millions of dollars, all the listeners out there, to this. But if you don't have that and you want to just learn about it, like you said, there's participation and there's volunteer opportunities that exist where if you don't have the treasure, you could use the time that you have for a very worthy cause. And I just commend you for making sure that people know about this and keeping this in the forefront of Air Comfort's mission here in the greater bi-state region.
Well, thanks, Annie. And on August 31st, they've got their 94th mission coming up, and they've taken over 2,300 veterans to Washington, D.C. So I would hate to see that end. Open up your checkbooks. If it's $10 or $10,000, it doesn't matter. Every little bit helps. gslhonorflight.org or info@gslhonorflight.org. That's a good email address if you can't get to the website. Thank you for for bringing this up and letting us talk. And it's just an unbelievable organization.
Thank you, Corey. We'll talk to you again soon. We appreciate what you do here with the station, with the show, and we will be talking about this again as that day gets closer.
Awesome. Sounds good. And good luck on your little one.
Thank you. Anytime.
I know you're ready.
Anytime. Corey Malone with Air Comfort Service. He's the owner there. If you want to learn more about Air Comfort Service, you can go on to aircomfortservice.com. They have, in the last 6 months, it's almost 7 months now. It was right after Christmas, our furnace bombed out, and we had to call Air Comfort Service in, and they did a great job giving us options, and we replaced our furnace and have since replaced our air conditioner because it was going to go out to 20-something years old. and they were great to us, and they're great to the community. And that's why I wanted to make sure that you had the opportunity here on Friday to hear something positive that folks are doing in our own community for people in our own community. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, more of the Annie Fry Show with Gabe in studio with us, St. John the Philosopher on YouTube. You've got a little break here. You can go subscribe to St. John the Philosopher on YouTube and the Annie Fry YouTube channel and watch us there. You can also join us on our Facebook Live, Ryan and Katie as well. With us in just a moment when we return, more Annie Fry Show right around the corner.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Fry Show.
Have you noticed lately all the mom and pop home buyers popping up everywhere? They all say the same thing, how they'll buy any house in any condition for cash and close quickly. So who should you trust? How about America's #1 home buyer, Homevestors, also known as the We Buy Ugly Houses people? We've purchased over 95,000 houses, ugly or not, since 1996. We can make you an all-cash offer on the spot for your house that you can count on. Call 800-44-BUYER or go to WeBuyUglyHouses.com. Each franchise office is independently owned and operated.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon for ThrottleNet. And if you need new IT service and you're a small business owner, or you just need better IT service, why wouldn't you check out ThrottleNet? They won Best in Customer Service from Small Business Monthly this past January, Best in Cybersecurity in Small Business Monthly in February. Ransomware has been huge, unfortunately, on the rise through the pandemic. And ThrottleNet has saved clients $2.6 million in ransom. They protect against ransomware by providing a tool set that provides cybersecurity training for employees, identifying and quarantining an infected machine from the network, and the equipment will recover in less than 24 hours. Take advantage of a great offer. The first 30 days with ThrottleNet are free. There's no onboarding fees if you leave in the first 30 days. ThrottleNet will pay you $1,000 for your trouble. And after the first 30 days, no contracts, they're month to month. Check out ThrottleNet online. Use the 97.1 connection, throttlenet.com/971. Throttlenet.com/971. Get started today.
Jewels on Hampton in St. Louis Hills is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, and fine watches on site. Jewels on Hampton is a premier jeweler with an exquisite selection of diamonds, semi-precious stone jewelry, and vintage watches. Their expert design team can restyle your jewelry to today's contemporary style. They also do jewelry and watch repair. Need extra cash? Jewels on Hampton is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, and fine watches. Bring in your collectibles and clocks, sports memorabilia, and figurines too. Jewels on Hampton, 4506 Hampton, just 3 blocks south of Chippewa. Call them at 314-752-5000. Jewels on Hampton.
Updating your home with James Hardie Siding has never been more popular. With all the options available, you need a partner to ensure you maximize your investment. Siding Express is ready to refresh the appearance of your home or totally transform the look by installing Hardie Shake, Board and Batten, lap siding, or a stone accent to make it your dream home again. Siding Express is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor. They also carry Anderson and Marvin windows and doors. Need ideas? Go to sidingexpress.com and schedule a free, no-obligation consultation today. sidingexpress.com.
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum sided homes that have become, chalky and tired looking. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. After 15 years, we've got a great reputation and a superior product. As long as it's affordable, why wouldn't you do it? Before you make the costly mistake of painting with traditional paint, you'd be best served to call Rhino Shield today. We are the experts and our evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Tell them, ladies.
No pain, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Information to keep you moving. Dependable traffic mornings and afternoons with Sue Thomas. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company. The best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor.
Yo, VIP. Let's kick it. Ice, ice, baby. Ice, ice, baby. All right, stop. Collaborate and listen. I sit back with my brand new invention. Something grabs a hold of me tightly.
What's the other song?
Ice,
Ice Baby.
Under Pressure.
Yeah. Which is your favorite? Ask me anything. Wait, stop.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, hold on. Ask me anything. Let's start it right now.
If you have anything to ask me, just go ahead.
I want the truth.
You're trying to get me.
Thank you for your honesty.
Trying to get me.
You
Make
can't
sure you know how
handle
to
the
do your
truth.
job.
Pressing buttons.
I'll set you free.
Harder for some than others.
That is a good
If you were to pick between Ice Ice Baby and I heard Under Pressure, which would you pick?
Under Pressure all day, every day.
As much as I would 100% of the time choose Queen and David Bowie over Vanilla Ice, I think I actually enjoy Vanilla Ice's
It's a
song
good, yeah,
more.
it's good. It's definitely.
Well, it's really the key test to yourself to listen to those first few notes
And
and
know.
decide which one you want to tap. Like whose voice do you want to hear after that intro?
It's like Stevie
Like
Nicks and Destiny's Child.
Yeah,
Bootylicious,
exactly.
I think.
Okay, which one? Which one?
You want to hear All Right, Stop?
Bootylicious.
Or you want to hear
Bootylicious, of course.
Exactly. Oh yeah.
I
don't
want
know.
it to be Ice Ice Baby. I like Under Pressure. I'm not mad when it's Under Pressure, but there's just like a vibe about Ice Ice Baby. It makes you kind of have like the stank face,
And everybody knows it.
You're just
Yeah.
immediately telling people
Yes.
what to do.
And everybody
You're in
knows
charge.
stop, collaborate, and listen. Everybody knows it.
Everybody
Ice
knows
is
that
back
part.
with a brand new edition.
Yes.
Yes.
Continue. Who can do continue?
Something grabs a hold of me tightly. Something.
flowing like a hawk
Daily and
nightly?
nightly.
I don't know if it's a hawk though.
Well, they have
You're
a stop.
the coolest
I don't
people on the
know.
radio from noon to 3 in St. Louis
Darn
on
straight.
We
Talk
stay with the
Radio.
times.
Yeah, I gotta say, musically, I prefer Under Pressure. Just because, I mean, just as a musician, like Under Pressure is a good song.
Mhm.
Come
Oh
on.
yeah, as a
Come on.
musician,
Yeah,
So
of
good
course.
that it got
It's like, I mean,
pirated. and-
come
I
on.
was.
But I mean, just the fun, and of course, it came out in like my formative years, so it's
Me too.
nostalgic too.
Yeah.
So it's just
What
like,
was the Stevie Nicks one?
What is it? Ooh, baby, ooh, said ooh. What is that? What is
I
it called?
don't
Just
remember
like
that.
the one.
Yeah, just
I'm
I
gonna
can't
have to look
remember.
it
It
up.
was Edge of 17.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
There we go.
Which one of
I was
those?
gonna say, help me, internet. You're my only.
I
hope.
think Bootylicious for me.
Fantastic.
I think that's got to be. And you
Can
know
you
what?
cut that
fun.
sound? Who's working our show back there? I don't want anything to happen
It's Bootylicious
the rest
for
of my
me.
time, except for a drop that I can say. It's Bootylicious for me.
It's Bootylicious for me.
Gabe, Bootylicious, or Stevie Nicks?
I don't know that. Again, it's nostalgic for me. Destiny's Child. Gosh.
So good.
Oh yeah.
Stevie Nicks. Let's just put
It's
that
not
to rest.
Bootylicious for
It's
Ryan.
not
It's not-
Bootylicious
it's not
for Ryan.
Bootylicious.
Have you ever
It's
listened to
never going to be
Bootylicious?
Bootylicious for Ryan. Regardless of the song, it'll never be Bootylicious.
Devin says Edge of 17. Yes, thank you for writing that because now I remember. I like Edge of 17, just like I like Under Pressure,
Mhm.
but I know every word to Bootylicious.
And every woman walks into the room when they hear Bootylicious.
you feel a
They're like,
thing.
Yes.
There's something going on. Yeah,
Ooh, girl,
absolutely.
that's my song, and then they're out on.
Okay, the
dance floor.
song, if you like it, should here maybe we can do an ask me anything out of this. If you like it, then you should have put a ring on it. Are there any actual guys who like that song? That's a girl song, right?
No, there are a lot of guys who like that song, Ryan. There are a lot of guys who love that
They're all
song.
fathers of daughters.
Okay, that's fair.
Man,
All right.
the gaze into the camera from Gabe right now. You just wanted that to land right where it needed to land. Ryan, what's your question?
Saying.
Let's see.
I also support the Second Amendment.
It's not that there's
And the
nothing to
Second Amendment
watch.
supports me.
Let me phrase it better as a question here. It's not. Is that there's nothing to watch?
Wait,
or
can we
is
start
there...
over?
What's happening
For all of us?
Just one more time. What?
So it's Friday, June 4th.
It is Ask Me Anything.
Is it that there's nothing
Not
to
tell
watch,
me anything.
or is it that we've become such savvy consumers that even stuff that we would have considered decent is now not good enough?
The latter of that for sure. I think that there are plenty of things to watch at all moments and there are many platforms that are offering plenty of things to watch. It's just we are so hungry for content all the time that it just seems like garbage.
We get in the car, we'll be literally driving 4 minutes, and my 5-year-old's like, Mom, can I watch a movie? Which when we bought the Pacifica and it had the entertainment system in it, first time that we ever had anything like that in our vehicles, and I'm opposed to it, my husband was opposed to it. It was like if we have to be driving 45 minutes away from where we're going right now for that to be invoked. Insert COVID, where we would get in the car to drive around our hometown for hours because we just needed something else to do. And then we'll get in the car. We're just driving from like my house to my parents' house. Can I watch the movie? And I now I'm just like, yeah, fine, whatever. But most of the sometimes I'm like, no, look at the trees. Just look outside. There's a bird. Find 5 birds on the way to
count license plates.
We cannot. We have lost our ability to not be entertained. So it probably causes us to be more critical, but that's something we certainly have become.
Are we more critical?
More critical of everything. Yeah. I have way too many entertainment options, and I like to multitask. So I'm like, I could watch this because I'm thinking of this, and then I'm working on my videos for my YouTube channel, and then I'm also listening to this, and it's
everywhere.
It's everywhere. It's everything.
Everywhere.
Janet always has a problem. He's like, why is there so much noise? What are you doing?
Is it not odd though how much we'll watch TV? All of us. I don't even know if you guys do this. I'm just assuming because everybody does it. Watch TV while you look at your phone. You're not watching anything really. You're just you're just sort of.
Who picked the show?
Yeah,
there's also that.
Is it Bluey?
Don't get me started on Bluey.
Is it Pokemon? Is it one of those shows that my husband watches where I said there's way too much facial hair and not enough electricity? That's the genre of TV that my husband watches.
Bear Grylls.
Maybe. I don't know. Bears? Yes.
That is a crazy thing to think about because this special that I just watched, Bo Burnham, he said that. He's like, are you guys watching me or are you watching your phone while you have me on as the background music?
Right.
Or are you
That's
on
funny.
your computer?
He called it out.
Yeah,
Whoa,
he's just
called
like,
you out,
what are
yeah.
you doing? Are you
dang.
engaged or is this enough media overload that you're doing 100 other things that involve
Maybe
media?
this is why I like to go to the movies. Because I have to
Forces
put my
you.
phone away. Well, it doesn't make me. It's why I love it so much. But it makes me actually pay attention to what's going on screen, and I love it a lot. So maybe I just need to put some of that into get back out there, Gabe. and get that back into my house too. Just sitting and paying attention to one thing at a time.
Brad says on YouTube, I watch TV when the Cardinals game is on, and I live tweet my frustration. The compliments of the other. If it's a sporting event, you can. That's a commitment.
Yes.
That's a 3-hour movie. And that movie, if it's 3 hours, better be darn good for 3 hours to captivate my attention, certainly. But with sports, it's a little bit different. I think it depends on the content.
Isn't baseball a background sport anyway?
Not for some people.
Isn't it sad?
And he's like, no.
We're saying, we need to get back to the good old days where we used to just sit on the couch and watch TV. That's pretty sad.
That's literally what we're doing right now. Oh my God.
I don't know. I'm not complaining about it. I like the access. I have my phone, but I also have my laptop in my lap. So, and a kid on my lap and a dog.
No, but we've come so far to when my dad would say, why are you watching TV? Go outside and play. Like we've come so far now. Going back and just watching TV is the old man saying, "Get off my lawn."
Katie, what's your question?
Gabe, you touched on this earlier a little bit. If you could cut the budget in one area of government or one aspect of government, where would you cut?
Like one department?
It could be department. My answer to this, hence why I said aspect, is that I think that every lawmaker should take a budget cut. I don't think we should be paying people in Congress a lot of money or in a lot of different specialty departments.
I can agree with that. What's funny is everything everybody says here, I'm going to agree with. Just
Okay.
FYI.
Yes.
It's like we're talking about removing money from the federal government. Yes.
What if I
Yes.
said
it's always yes.
defense?
Oh, there's bureaucracy. in
It's
defense.
always yes. It's always yes because we can force some efficiencies in there too.
Mhm.
But I think for me, I would love to get rid of a lot of the federal bureaucracies. Like I don't think there should be a federal Department of Education. I don't think there should be. I don't think the IRS should be as big as it is. I don't think there should be. I don't know. Pick a department.
This is not one department. You just said all of them.
Yeah, but pretty
Every
much all
department
of them.
created.
Pretty much all of them.
Yeah.
I think can be much smaller, if not completely eliminated.
That's conservative right there.
I'm an extremist.
So is that accent,
Yeah,
from what I've heard.
I'm extreme.
There you go.
Extreme.
I was gonna say something to you, Ryan, but I can't say it.
Off air.
You know.
I actually, I don't know if this is the exact answer to your question, but I would like to see just budget sequestering happening again. You know, when they couldn't come to an agreement, the budget would just get slashed by 5% or
Right.
10% off the top.
No money for you.
That was an agreement that we had, like, Republicans had made with Democrats somehow. I can't believe that ever happened.
I
But
can't
it
believe
did.
they fell for that.
And then, and we had it. We had, like, that was a thing that was going to forever exist. And Republicans caved on that. I can't believe it. I would love to see that return.
I agree with everything everybody said.
See? I
I'm
told you.
okay. I'm okay. Yeah, I don't have a specific. I can think of one particular over the other. It's yeah.
I just thought of this question because of that AOC stuff that's going on, where she made that tweet and people
Oh,
are
yeah.
About her
like,
grandma.
Yeah, at her grandma, and everyone's like, "Well, you make this much money," and so I was just like, maybe lawmakers do.
I will
make a lot of
say
Mm-hmm.
that to your point, Katie, about cutting lawmakers' pay, that is like not we're talking about cargo ships worth of cargo ships. This is not even a scratch on the surface of the problem.
Yeah.
If you were to eliminate lawmaker pay, nobody would notice. I mean, the lawmakers would
The
notice.
lawmakers would notice.
We get one extra book per politician per year.
Not even. I mean, good grief. All right. Anyone else have another question they wanted to ask? You said everyone had one, right?
Are you big on celebrating
Yes,
your
I'm
birthday?
currently big. What?
Are you big? And how big?
I just said the wrong thing to the pregnant lady. I'm sorry.
The
About
answer
to
is
get
yes.
it now.
Moving on.
It's like, what do you mean by that? No.
Oh, I know, and I am.
Are you big on celebrating your birthday? A lot of people.
I
aren't.
like to. I really like to.
Yeah.
I do.
I'll pretend to be surprised.
I'm like, yeah,
It's like,
birthday.
Is it? Are you the? It's my birthday month, girl.
Katie is all about celebrating, though.
Yeah.
Katie likes to celebrate.
Well,
Katie celebrates other people.
We know she's a party animal.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what reason.
I'm not like a birthday month person, but like when my birthday comes around, it's not necessarily like I need to walk in the doors and there needs to be like a band and fireworks or anything like that.
Mariachi's
But
going.
like I'd like my husband to put in a little bit of extra work. I'm like, look who you married. Hello.
You
Where's
knew.
my cake?
Look who you married.
Where is my cake?
Where's my cake?
What about you,
Who you
Gabe?
married?
Gabe, are you?
I'm not big on birthdays anymore. I think when I was
Birthday?
little,
Your birthday?
my birthdays, like pure. Yeah, I know. But when I was a kid,
Is today your birthday? Because I'd be very sad if it was.
No. I'm a Christmas birthday guy,
Okay.
which may
Oh, yeah,
be
that's right.
why it's such a thing. Because for a while there, my mom wanted to make sure that it was a special day because it was usually just about Christmas and or my college siblings coming home for visit, and it was all about everybody else basically. So she wanted to make sure there was a special day for her special little man, and I would get my favorite dinner and a cake. So, but beyond that, like once I became an adult, I was like, birthdays, whatever.
Just another
I don't know.
What about you, Ryan?
I think that I don't, but I think when it comes down to it, I really enjoy it when people
Say happy birthday.
make a big deal out of it.
You know what you sound like? A woman.
I do sound like a woman. Look who you married.
Oh,
No, I don't want you to make a
married.
big deal out of it, but if you don't make a big deal out of it, I will hold it against you
You're
for
right.
at least 14 days.
Whoa.
Gabe, how do I look in this?
Oh, you look great, honey.
That's
That's
what I was looking. That's the answer.
Annie, let me try and guess what you think.
Uh-oh.
Go ahead.
That's a no. It's a big no.
I don't make big deals out of my birthday.
But you
you
like
are
it when we do, don't you?
No,
Secretly?
this is what I was going to say.
No?
Not as
Annie
much
does
as you,
not
Ryan.
like her birthday being a big deal because, and I know this because her birthday this year was spent in her bed sleeping.
Oh.
And
So
she
were all
preferred
the
it.
other days
She
this
preferred
year.
it. And she
Right.
loved
Yeah.
it. But Annie loves to make someone else's birthday special. Like Annie remembers people's birthdays, and she specifically this year, I was at home. I had COVID on my birthday. She and Jared got like all this cool stuff for me and brought it to my house. It was so sweet. Annie
Aw.
always does that kind of stuff.
We were on air.
Yes.
I told Jared, I go, okay, we're gonna be. He knows the clock, so he knows when we're gonna be on. Like, she's sitting in her kitchen, so go bang when we get on air. Bang on the door as loud as you can, because she will be so mad.
I was too. I'm like,
and then watching this unfold on the webcam. What is it? November 3rd. I was to say
Yeah, I was
February.
on vacation that week.
Go back and find the November 3rd live broadcast on our YouTube channel and watch the moment. It was probably like the 2:00 hour, and all of a sudden there's this like, and Katie's face is like, oh my gosh, it's so embarrassing. And it's Jared with some birthday gifts and shit.
I think I screamed at one point, I'm on air.
Which means nothing to anybody who's knocking on your door.
But that's
Right.
What do you mean you're on air?
I've got your milk, ma'am. I don't even have a milkman. You people don't exist anymore.
I love how I share that story while you're saying I'm so nice about making people's birthday special. Like, let's figure out the way to make Katie pee her pants live on air.
It was still special.
It was special.
I'm glad you still remember that, and the part that you remembered was pleasant, because it was pleasant for me to remember that as well. All right, when we come back, we're what? Go
Well,
ahead.
are you sure that she was getting you that for your birthday? Because she got me a bunch of stuff when I got COVID too.
What?
I'm just saying. Maybe
Maybe
she
just
was just
no,
with
I
COVID
got your
gifts.
family
gifts?
groceries.
That's right. Yeah, thank you.
I think I got you something else for your birthday.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
not like
but-
I didn't recognize your birthday.
No, that's also
But it made him feel special.
Gotta go to break.
Okay.
Shockingly, Annie, are you okay when we come back? We'll see if, in fact, I am okay. I'm
With a souped up tempo, I'm on a roll. It's time to go solo. Rolling in my 5.0, put my rag top down so my hair can blow. The girl is on standby, waiting just to say hi. Did you stop? No, I just drove by, kept on pursuing to the next stop. I bust a left and I'm heading.
You're
to the
listening
next
to
block.
the Annie Fry
Yo,
Show.
So I continue to A1A. Girls were hot.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 52 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
What's holding you back from solving your tax problems? If it's cost, know that the longer you wait, the more expensive it'll be. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm in St. Louis. Tax resolution doesn't have to be expensive, and waiting year after year to resolve your tax problems can be extremely costly. Interest and penalties on your tax bill won't stop until you take control. So take the first step now and hire a tax resolution attorney to help you. Call me, Lance Drury. I'll tell you in advance an affordable fee which includes costs and expenses that works for your business and family. Your first visit to the Lance Drury Law Firm is free and confidential, so you have nothing to lose. But the longer you wait, the more interest and penalties you'll pay. Call me today. Remember, if you have IRS issues, you have legal issues. You need an attorney. You need us, the Lance Drury Law Firm. Call me, Lance Drury, at 314-260-6120 or go to Lance, D-R-U-R-Y law.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
If you're considering an annuity as part of your retirement plan, we need to talk. Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale, Senior Vice President Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel, and host of On the Money, heard every Saturday morning at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. Annuities can be a useful tool for some retirement investors, but not all annuities are created equal. Nearly every week, our team meets with clients who own complex annuities that don't suit their needs and, in some cases, actively undermine their retirement plan. Before you purchase an annuity, get a second opinion on your retirement plan today. When you work with us at the ClearPath Wealth Management Group, we're committed to providing you with guidance that's in your best interest, no exceptions. To request your free consultation, contact us at bobstockdale.com. That's bobstockdale.com. Again, that's bobstockdale.com. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
You've heard it's a seller's market, and yes, that makes it a great time to sell your home. Hey, it's Mark Cox here, and like every home seller, I want you to sell for the most money with the least stress. That's easy. Just call Gloria Liu with GL International Realty, part of Coldwell Banker Premier Group. Gloria is St. Louis real estate authority with an outstanding team that sells twice as fast for about 3% more money than other realtors. That's about $12,000 more on a $400,000 home. Gloria's unique marketing system showcases your home to her exclusive pool of over 9,000 ready buyers, resulting in increased demand and strong offers. Gloria Liu's sellers love working with her. They gladly refer to friends because they know Gloria guarantees to sell your home at your agreed to price, or she'll buy it herself. Call Gloria Liu at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
The Mark Reardon Show.
There are plenty of people, I saw the estimate of 1 million, wouldn't surprise me at all if this was accurate, that got the first dose and then just said, I'm not getting the second dose.
That's a part of it.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
Now, if you're watching the cameras right now, and you remember my birthday that took place a while back, I still have this gift that Ryan Wiggins gave me, and I'm showing it on the screen right now.
Is it chocolate?
No, this is the poop meat that you gave me.
Oh, it's poop meat. Oh, yeah. We thought it was chocolate until you ate it.
No, I did not eat it.
Did not eat
It's
it.
still in the package exactly the way it was when you left it on my doorstep. Ryan gave me
It's beautiful.
I can't even describe it other than the words that are on the box. And it says dinner date, and it's a steak and a piece of broccoli and a chocolate covered strawberry. It says solid milk and white chocolate. Yeah, somebody's going to have to see about that.
Mm-hmm.
So sweet and good and meant to share, the perfect treat to show you care. And this is the biggest and most important distinction. There's a note on this that says that it's certified women owned. So that's how you know.
I remember that. That's right.
And
That
also
is
it
the
says,
dumbest thing.
also it has a logo on here. All it says is wind energy. I don't know what that means, but it probably makes me a better person for having it.
Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, like just slap a little logo on that. Eco-friendly. Oh, wow. I feel great now that I bought this
Save
product.
the whales.
Yeah.
The lady out there with a windmill making
Wind energy,
chocolate.
making chocolate.
Sounds like a dream.
Making chocolate that looks like that, too.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, people, look at this on the screen. It looks like a slab of poo.
I got to say, you're right. The steak looks like somebody just took a dump in a box. But the
And
other
so Ryan saw it when
Yeah.
he was saying, "Are you sure she brought you that for your for COVID or for your birthday?" She might have just done it for COVID. Ryan was in a store. I use the term loosely, and
Store.
he saw this and he said,
Special little spot.
"I think of Annie when I see this."
Yeah.
And then he bought it and gave it to me, which is probably not even true. He probably just bought it and then remembered it was my birthday and thought I should give that to her.
I honestly don't remember that part of it, but I can tell you that you're right about the quote unquote store because it
You
was
took
probably
me hostage to one
Yeah,
time.
no, that one's more of a store than this one. I think this was in like what you'd call more of an open air bazaar set up like in a
Bizarre.
parking lot over a weekend, probably roughly in Washington Park or
It was a
something.
yard sale.
Yeah, like a giant neighborhood yard sale done in a convenient location.
I
So
think
who knows?
one of the first original Annie Fry Show giveaways should be the poop meat. But
Yeah.
we'll probably have to have you sign some things.
I don't know that I could buy those in a real store though, because like you said, it's women owned.
No, I want to give this one away to somebody.
Oh, just that one. Okay.
This one. It's a single opportunity to have some Annie Fry Show.
we should make an entire contest that lasts like 2 weeks.
Here's what it is. You want it's Valentine's Day. Lindsay from Promotions, are you listening right now? We're gonna give away a dinner date.
Yeah.
And
yes,
it can be for two. We're going to have it be sponsored by women because women own it, and this is a show
And
that has
windmills.
women on it.
Clean energy. And clean energy.
We will have Not necessarily clean energy.
Just
wind
windmills.
energy. We will, when you have your dinner date, we will put some box fans around you so your hair romantically blows in the wind.
We'll be
Oh,
there.
nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you will win
We'll have to do a live there.
this dinner date, so sweet and good and meant to share the perfect treat to show you care. And we will film you eating this poop meat
Yes, we will.
and vomiting.
Or not.
And then we'll have to
Who
give you
knows?
like some sort of COVID test afterwards.
Some
to see
people's
just-
tastes are different.
There will be two contests, one to win the poop meat, the other one people guessing, like the baby pool, how long it'll take the person who ate the poop meat to vomit.
Or you could win the poop meat dinner date.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second winner could be the person who has to go on the date with the winner of the poop meet.
Ooh, it's a
It could be a
blind date.
matchmaking.
Oh,
Yes.
matchmaking game.
It's
yes.
Tinder.
AFS Tinder.
Was that it was Tinder? The what did you call it last week?
Matchmaking.
Matchmaking. Mm-hmm.
You've called it
There's
something else.
so many air quotes.
Percentage chance that this tastes good.
90.
Yeah, it's chocolate.
Yeah.
Katie's shocked as I am.
It's chocolate.
I am glad that you didn't say like 10%, considering you're the one who gave it to me. So
I would say
90%,
10.
that makes me feel a little bit better.
I'm 90% sure.
Let me give you a little behind the
just
scenes on that. So there was another
You've
one.
eaten one.
There was another one that was bananas. So that one looks like steak and broccoli and strawberries, I think.
Yeah, strawberry.
There's one that was just a banana and it was white chocolate and it was pretty good. I ate that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How'd you feel afterwards? Like, say within the 24-hour time period.
I don't remember anything after it for like a good week.
There's some blackouts still.
How was your digestive system afterwards?
I
Clean,
can't
thoroughly,
get into that.
colonoscopy prep-esque.
Occasionally wakes up in a field. Not sure how he got there.
Yeah, I'll just say, like, if you're due to have a surgery the next day and need to get cleaned out, eat a chocolate banana.
Oh, Carlo on Facebook says, I bet whoever sold it had a party like, we never thought we'd sell it. Crack open the champagne. Thanks, Carlo.
Why
I
doesn't
feel
the
you.
second second winner get to go on the dinner date with Ryan Wiggins?
Oh,
And it doesn't have, it could be a
Yeah.
friend date.
Yeah,
It doesn't
freight.
have to be anything romantic.
Oh, that's
Obviously.
a word? Freight?
Freight?
Friend date.
The kids
Why
like
isn't
to
it a den?
squish their words.
And I actually
together.
don't know if that's a word, but
The
I
kids.
It is
having
now.
it. Yes.
The kids like to do that.
Freight.
Well, I'm okay with this contest. And when I come back from my maternity leave, I want this in motion thoroughly.
And now it's time to play Is Annie Okay With This?
Steven wants to know how much the poop meat costs.
Oh, how
YouTube.
much did I pay for it? You want to know?
He didn't. They paid him.
Yeah.
Please just take
Like,
it.
I think retail was probably about $9.99 if I had to take a guess.
Oh, you got robbed.
Maybe it says on the box still, not sure.
No,
But
it
I-
doesn't. And it's even more concerning that it doesn't have an expiration date,
I
which
w-
every time I pick it up, I
Boy,
look
that
for.
is concerning.
What's the weight on that thing? I mean, how many
We've talked
ounces of
about
chocolate?
this. It's
Sorry.
5
Big one.
ounces.
5 ounces.
We talked about how if it was solid, and then my mom, who is a microbiologist, texted me some like scientific thing about the different types of measurements of solids in poop. She's gonna do it again. It's my nightmare.
Yeah, there's a scale for that.
Yeah.
There's. I didn't want to know it. I don't want to know it, Mom. Don't text me.
Not okay with that.
What's it called? The
who's
Bristol
going first?
stool
I'll go
chart.
first. This is a letter to Market Watch. It's not a Dear Abby, but it's
Okay.
close. Dear Quentin, my fiance and I are getting married in October. She makes $90,000 a year between her primary job and teaching classes as a fitness instructor. I make $150,000 a year. She has roughly $40,000 left in student loans. This is not a math problem, people. And we share an investment in a land parcel with $65,000 in a loan balance remaining. Both of us actively contribute to retirement and brokerage accounts. We are both very independent people, so we like to have our own spendings and investments and make our own decisions. We have viewed money so far as yours and mine while happily splitting joint expenses and investments like the land. We are about to get married, and the question is, should we merge our finances after our wedding? Annie, what are you okay with people merging or not merging their finances and figuring that out on their own?
All of our finances, my husband and I, all of ours is together, and I wouldn't want it to be any other way for us. I would imagine that in this day and age, does it say how old they are?
It does not say how old they are. But
it doesn't really matter
I'd
when
imagine
you,
they'd be in their 30s or 40s.
it doesn't
They've been
matter
living their
when you're
separate lives
22
for
if
a
you're
while.
getting married and you're merging your funds. You have no funds.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's
Yeah.
not really a big deal, which is what my husband and I did. We were equally compatibly poor, and very much so. I don't know. I could see how you could have some separate, if you've lived some life and earned some things. I don't know that keeping it separate would be bad, but I don't know. I put it all together. That's what we do.
Who
Put it
wants to
together?
go?
I'll do the next one. Just coming back from Legoland. Lego larceny, according to NPR, Lego larceny may be on the rise. French police have been investigating an international toy ring of thieves with a particular affinity for Legos, and it's not just in Europe. Lego robberies have happened in the United States last month. One was busted up in Oregon after local police suspected a ring had stole over $7,500 worth of Legos. Annie, are you okay with
stealing
Legos? No, not with stealing them. With Legos getting this much attention in the toy market. Why Legos?
Annie's not sure how to answer that question.
What?
Annie's not okay with this question.
It made a lot of sense in my head. And once I said it, I was like, this is so stupid. Like, why would you care?
Annie, are you okay with Legos? Is the question.
I'm okay with Legos.
Perfect.
Great.
All right.
Gabe, take us home.
This is why we leave this
We're
at the
far
top.
from
All right.
home.
New York City.
You sprint us there.
New York City Councilwoman attends virtual hearing while driving. So New York City Councilwoman Helen Rosenthal attended a finance committee hearing virtually on Tuesday while driving in her car. Rosenthal, who lives and serves the Upper West Side, one of the densest, most transit-rich neighborhoods in the world, videoed from her car to comment on school class size and education funding. She began looking directly into the camera, then appeared to shift her eyes to the road as the car started moving. Annie, are you okay with doing business meetings while on the road?
Sure, you can do them on the road. I've been on meetings audibly in my car while I'm driving, but I think maybe the Zoom thing might be a little too far. I live in the state of Illinois. I think you can go to prison for life or something like that. It's not like Missouri with the here hold it rule where you guys can drink if you're not driving.
Watch my beer.
Hold it, which sounds terrible and also maybe kind of awesome.
America.
But are there Legos? I don't know. I don't really know how to feel about it.
But what if the Legos are in the car?
Annie, are you okay? Probably.
Ooh, baby pool. You just gave some hints.
Maybe. I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with the Lego right now. It was that Lego question. Stick around, Mark Reardon's coming up next.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon for Certain Pro Painters, and if you have a painting job that's on your